special live stream. We are live for the NWA Crockett Cup. This is huge. This is huge. This really is one of the most exciting streams because this is one of the biggest NWA shows that we've ever watched together. Of course, we watch NWA Power each week. This is the Crockett Cup from last year. And I suppose there's a little bit of sadness, a little tinge of sadness. And the reason why I say that is because I believe it was this weekend that we were meant to be getting the Crockett Cup 2020. And that was going to be one of the biggest NWA shows. Obviously, they'd already started the build. It was going to have weeks and weeks, months of build. They really were going to use it like their own WrestleMania. It was going to be in one of the biggest venues they had been in so far since the relaunch. And it really was going to be a massive, massive deal. This was kind of what everything was building towards. Everything was building towards the Crockett Cup. And we were robbed of it, to be honest. We've been robbed of it. It is obviously on hold. We don't know what's going to happen when we come back. We don't know if they're going to reschedule. We don't know if we're just going to move on from it. Are we just going to move on to, whatever the next pay-per-view was that they had lined up? I honestly don't know if they know at the moment because everything is up in the air at the moment. Obviously, we don't even know when we can go back to normal yet. So, unfortunately, I think it's still going to be a number of weeks until things get back to normal. All the reports seem to be that we're going through the peak right now, but hearing rumours about parks and beaches and things like this starting to reopen in different places. So, as I said, a few weeks, couple of months, then we should be back up and running again. And I don't know what happens. So really incredible that we've got this show. This was a show that I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting them to give us this show, but here we are. And I can't wait. It's a show that I've never watched all the way through. I've seen highlights of, but I've never seen the main event. I actually don't think I know who wins the tournament as well. Legit, I don't think I know who wins the tournament. So, I'm really, really excited. But I definitely have seen some of the earlier matches. And I've got to be honest, this show was so big that I definitely heard about the NWA. Like their rebirth and, the buzz about everything that was happening around this time. I'm not sure that I heard the buzz about NWA 70 or the NWA pop-up event. It might be one of those where I heard about it, but just it didn't register. But for whatever reason, this event definitely registered. This event really grabbed my attention. I can't even tell you why. I don't know. But this one definitely was on my radar. More so than any of the other events before. And then obviously from there, you start to hear about Power. And we start to saw the images of the studio. And yeah, really exciting. Really exciting. So it's going to be a lot of fun for me to watch this show with you guys. So I hope you're excited. I hope that you're all well as well. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat and joining us, like LSW and William Hensey and Wrestling Days fan. Lord French Fries says, this is going to be my first time watching the NWA. Well, what a treat you're in for. I mean, that's all I can say. What a treat you are going to be in for, because the main event tonight is Nick Aldis taking on Marty Scurll for the £10 of gold. So, I mean, you are talking legit main event. You're talking about a match that could main event 99% of wrestling shows around the world. A very, very exciting main event. Add on top of that the fact that the women's championship is on the line. The national championship is on the line. The tournament, obviously, is going to take up a lot of this. We've got to talk about the history of the Crockett Cup as well. I've got a few facts and figures and things. I've had a lot of fun just doing a little bit of research, just kind of going back so that I can bring you guys some information that you might not have known. So I've got all these interesting little facts and figures and stuff, but yeah, that can wait for a second. I think it's fine for us to just, get the excitement out for the first 5 minutes. Because honestly, this is going to be one of my favourite streams. We didn't even know that we were going to be getting this show until the other day. And the NWA had already given us the NWA 70. I believe it's still on their channel. So if you want to watch older, not that much older, but just, slightly older pay-per-views from months before, you can watch NWA 70, you can watch the NWA pop-up event, and of course we did watch-alongs for all of those. But as I said, and I'm not just saying it, this is the mountaintop, this is the crown jewel, this really is something very, very special. This goes back to 1986. That's when the very first Crockett Cup took place. So it's not like the other pay-per-views like NWA 70. That was a standalone event. The pop-up event was a pop-up event. But the Crockett Cup has got that history. And I think that's what makes it so special. It goes back to 1986. And as we said, we got a few facts and figures and things. And we can definitely talk about all of that. But yeah, let me jump into the chat first of all. £10 a podcast. Shout out to you guys. I was watching your video that you just did, and some great insight talking about, this is a venue that can hold around 4,000 people, so how's it gonna feel? Talking about the fact that the pop-up event had gone so well. Are we now gonna see more NWA fans around this time? Because you got to remember, this is before Power. Power has been such a success. Such a success. Like every week that show is getting 150, 200,000 viewers. If you compare that to what like AEW is getting, say, 600,000 viewers on average, but that's on network, that's on TV. Like NWA have got nowhere near the budget for like promoting and advertising and things like that, yet they're still bringing in like a third of the viewers for each of their episodes. So really, really strong performance from Power. But of course, this is the last pay-per-view before Power. This was around April of 2019, and then Power would start, I want to say September, October time. So yeah, the next pay-per-view after this was Into the Fire, and that was December. So there's quite a gap between this show and Into the Fire, and that's because everything was going into Power. Everything was going into setting that show up, that weekly show that you get for free on their YouTube channel. So yeah, really excited, Lord French Fries, that you're joining us, and Project WCW as well. Big fan of those guys. If you've not seen Project WCW on Twitter, they put out regular posts about certain wrestlers, about certain events. In fact, it was only earlier today I was reading about the Showdown at Shea Stadium. And that was an event that I've seen, but it was still very interesting to read about it. And basically, it was a show from 1980. And do you know what? It wasn't until I was reading the article earlier that I realised that Hogan and Andre was co-main event of that show. So in 1980, Hulk Hogan faced Andre the Giant. It's a match that some of you, I'm sure, may have seen. And Andre's the face and Hogan's the heel. It's reversed to what you see at WrestleMania 3. But how crazy that was co-main event. It wasn't even the main event. In 1980, Hogan and Andre face each other. I mean, at WrestleMania 3, for me, that is wrestling. Like, if someone was to say, can you show me one image of wrestling? I would probably show you that stare down between Andre and Hogan from WrestleMania 3. How crazy that we got it 8 years before. And it was co-main event. It wasn't even the main event. The main event was Bruno Sammartino versus Larry Zbyszko. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can find out all this information on Project WCW. So very, very good Twitter account. And I think they've got, I don't know if it's them or someone that they know, but they've got Project WWF on the way, which I'm very excited about. So, yeah, keeping a close eye on you guys. I'm keeping a close eye. Hello to everyone that's saying hello. Nails and NY and Swamp Manor. NWA as well. Hello, all of the great Wrestling Days fans that are here to watch with us. So, there we go. The NWA in the house. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for this show. As we said, so exciting. And, well, I already know it's going to be greatly received because the build for it, obviously, on Tuesday just gone, we watched the show about how we got here. We saw, like, some of the qualifying matches. We saw the story between Marty and Nick Aldis. And, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Kind of whetted the appetite. And here we are now where we can sit back and enjoy a pay-per-view that I'm sure many of you haven't seen. I keep saying this as well. The fact that you've got to remember that with the NWA, they don't have a network, right, or anything like that at this stage, where, you know, you can just jump on and view the shows or whatever. They sell these on DVD, so them giving you this event is costing them money. Like, they will sell this on DVD. They have been selling this on DVD. So you getting this now means that you're never going to probably buy it on DVD. And that's sales that they're losing. So, you know, when people have said to me before, why do you criticize WWE when you have to watch a pay-per-view match again on Raw, but you love NWA when they give you a pay-per-view, and that's it. That's the difference. WWE have got so much content, so much stuff, that if they give you something, if they give you a match for free, it means absolutely nothing to them. Absolutely nothing. Whereas, you know, NWA, since they relaunched, have got a handful of pay-per-views, and I think I'm right in saying now, they've given you every single one for free, all the way up to when Power begins. So, incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, I urge that you show your support. Will you be at Wrestling Shop Live this year? Will I be at Wrestling Shop Live this year? I will. Will I be at Wrestling Shop Live this year? I will if it's on, but I don't know if it's on. So I can't say, to be honest. It all depends if they're going to run that event or not. In all fairness, last year they ran it, and they ran it so close. Like, I found out in a video a month before. You find out the same time I find out. It was in a toy hunt. So yeah, incredible. Incredibly. William Hensey, shout out to you. Love how the NWA's WrestleMania has got a big tag team tournament. All WWE does is give us a Dusty Rhodes Classic that's been a bit random on NXT for the past 2 years. Well, this goes all the way back to 1986. And just very quickly touching on it, because it's about to begin in a second. You've got to remember the wrestling world was very different then. It was made up of different territories. And it was a way of bringing the best talent together. So in that first tag team tournament in 1986, it's one of the first times that you see Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Four Horsemen. They're going by that name at that time. But it's one of the first times you kind of see those two competing together. Of course, they would go on to become the Brainbusters, and obviously we all know what the Four Horsemen would achieve. But 1986 at the Crockett Cup is one of the first times we see them. The Road Warriors, a.k.a. the Legion of Doom, they compete on that show. The Sheep Herders, a.k.a. the Bushwhackers, who weren't funny back then. They were a legit tag team when they were the Sheep Herders. We've said before about how Dave Meltzer gave them a 5-star rated match. Like, they were a legit team. They were heavy hitting. They were competing there. The prize was $1 million. $1 million was the prize in 1986 if you won that tournament. And they brought in all the best from all over the country to compete in this tournament. It was across 2 shows as well. And yeah, it's a hard event to find because it was never shown on like closed circuit TV. It was a VHS. It was a VHS. I don't think it's ever been put onto DVD or anything. So I don't know where that footage is, to be honest. I don't know if the NWA have got that or if WWE own that. I've never seen that show. But the main event obviously was the end of that tournament, but also Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes for the £10 of gold. Ric Flair was the champion at that time. So, yeah, massive event in 1986. And this is what I'm saying. This goes back to that. It's got that lineage. So, this is why it's such a big deal and it's so exciting, you know. Woo! The sheep herders are tremendous. Barbed wire matches, hardcore before hardcore was cool. I would love to see next year's Dusty Classic include women's tag teams. Yes. I'm hearing you. Monica King, shout out to you. I can see Wrestling in the chat. I can see Jim Gore in the chat. I can see everyone in the chat. It's brilliant to see so many people joining us for what promises to be a very, very exciting show. Again, it's worth pointing out that they did the Crockett Cup in 87 and 88, and then Jim Crockett Promotions got bought out and became WCW. Right, we're about to begin, my friends. Do you know what? I haven't even had a chance to look at the shop yet. We've got an Allysin K-shirt. We've got bandanas. I still haven't looked for one-of-a-kind signed items. For the next 7 days, you can get a Crockett Cup pin badge. 50% off, I think it said. Hello, sports fans. Whoa. There is a new item. Look at this. Highly professional Mongrovian editing is what we're seeing here. The question mark with his Mongrovian karate. There it is, the official question mark pin badge. I'm still waiting for my mask to arrive. It's not NWA's fault. They sent it straight away. But I have to get it from America, don't I? Because I'm sat here in little old England. I love that there's tag teams from all over the world for such a great tournament. Yes, good point. This is featuring tag teams from New Japan and tag teams from CMLL in Mexico. And obviously, you know, you've got legends like the Rock and Roll Express. You've got Ring of Honor tag teams like the Briscoes. NWA tag teams like Wild Card. So they've kind of really copied the template so well. They're not just giving you tag teams from the NWA. They've got just absolutely incredible teams. Absolutely incredible teams. They've managed to go and get, and this is probably what I'm most excited about, Kojima and Nagata, who both have been IWGP heavyweight champions. They have both held the top title in New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, the title that's currently held by Naito used to be held by Okada. Omega has held it as well. Well, these two guys have both held that top title in Japan. Kind of seen as the top title in Japan, one of the top wrestling belts in the world. They've both held that title. They are in this tournament tonight. So, yeah, we're seeing some of the best from New Japan. We're seeing some of the best from CMLL. We're seeing some of the best from Ring of Honor. We're seeing some of the best from NWA. I hope my excitement is radiating through because, as I said, this is a show that we just never thought we would see. Or I never thought I would see. I thought this would be the one that they would protect, if you will. This would be the one that they would keep for themselves. The one where they're like, if you enjoy Power, then you can get the Crockett Cup on DVD kind of a thing. No, here you go. Enjoy! So that's what we're going to be watching now. Eric Haberman says, here, some states in the US could open as early as tomorrow. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Breaking news. Breaking news. WWE own all the Crockett Cups. It got bought in 2001 with the rest of the Jim Crockett Promotions catalogue. Wow. I don't believe they've ever put any of that onto the WWE Network, which I think is such a shame. Such a shame. They could have... I don't believe they have. I'd have to fire it up and have a look and see if it's hidden away somewhere on there. Because I would love to watch some of that 1986 Crockett Cup. I hear, right, I've never seen it, but I hear there was no commentary. So it can be a little bit hard to watch if you're someone that, likes the commentary and everything. But, no, I'm just going to type in Crockett Cup and see if anything comes up at all on the network. Probably not. We're just having a look at backstory. Legendary Team Clash Crockett Cup 86. Oh, hello. What's this? What's this? What's happening? There's matches. There's little clips. There's little... What's this? Legendary teams clash in the Crockett Cup 1986. Fantastic. It might be on there. I don't know if the whole thing's on there. I'm on the network right now, and I have got... Look at this. Look at this. I have got legendary teams clash in the Crockett Cup 1986. Yes! Look! It goes for 4 hours. Oh! I never knew that was on there! What? It freaking is, The whole of the 1986 Crockett Cup is on the network. Giant Baba! Giant Baba's on there! Giant Baba and Tiger Mask! Oh my god. Well, you'll never see me again. That's me done. Well, I'm gonna... Oh, I never knew this. We're finding out stuff together. Here, look, we've got Joe Galley, the sexy beast of a man. We've got Jim Cornette. We've got someone whose name I didn't catch. But here we go, look, Crockett Cup 2019. I can freak out about the 1986 one later. We're here for this one. We're here for last year's event. How crazy is that? You can watch the old ones on the WWE Network. Look at this. I think we're going to start off with a battle royale. Bob K, shout out to you. I don't know who this guy is. He's very happy. He's very happy, and I do appreciate that. We need positivity right now, and he knew that back in 2019. There's those 2 championship belts and the Crockett Cup, and we're actually starting out. I can see the Dawsons. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. So we've got the Dawsons in there. We've got lots of other people as well. It's great to see. You love to see it. I can see Latimer in there. The boys. Yes. The boys. The boys are in there. Here we go. Look, wild card. Royce Isaacs, Tom Latimer. Oh, boo. Right, I think we're starting off with a battle royale, and the winners will be inserted. This is like Last Chance Saloon. Oh, hello. What have we got here? Billy Buck. Billy Buck's in there. There we go, the Dawsons. Vape Ross Vape says, Days, I was at the 87 Crockett Cup and I met Baba. No freaking way. The mic is a bit low. Why? Everyone keeps telling me the mic's always low and I don't get why. Pretty soon I'm going to turn it up so much that I'm just going to be screaming through. Look at that. Jacked. Yeah, it's got a great physique. Credit where it's due. I'm excited for this, says Chris. I'm excited for this, Chris, as well. Oh, he's gone. Those cheeky boys. I knew you had to keep an eye on the boys. Boys will be boys. So, there we go. to the outside, and we are underway with this Battle Royal. Don't forget, whoever wins this will be added to the tournament. And again, look, you can see how I love the NWA logo in the ring. That looks class. Yeah. So we've got the NWA logo in the ring, and then on the apron, Ring of Honor. Obviously working together to bring this show to us. Very much like they were working together again to bring us this year's Crockett Cup, which, as we said, had to unfortunately be delayed. Wonderful Josephus sighting, but sadly after head has been shaved. Shout out to Bob K. Let's hear it for the boys. The question is, could you stream the 86 Crockett Cup? You know my rule. I don't do anything over 3 hours, and that's 4 hours. But I can tell you now that when I heard about the Crockett Cup last year and the history of it, I looked into it all and saw that it was, had its connections to 86. And I've been looking it up again, trying to find out a few facts and figures and things for you guys. No idea. I mean, you literally have just found out, as I have found out, that it's on the network. They've kept that so hidden away. So hidden. Love the graphics as well. Look at that hashtag Crockett Cup in the corner. It's got a lovely retro feel to it as well. It looks very, very cool. Very cool. If you go over the top, you hit the floor, and that's exactly what these boys are doing. Days, I'm still waiting for my This Is Power shirt. I believe they have been sent out now. I think they are on the way. I had a notification saying that mine had been sent, but of course, mine is sent to an address in America. There's over 1,000 people watching right now on the NWA YouTube channel, which is absolutely fantastic to see that it's getting that kind of viewership. Over the top. Good work by the Dawsons. Days, have you got any idea how long this show lasts? No idea at all. No idea at all. £10 a podcast saying retro forward. Yes, I remember you talking about that. That's very much the mantra of the NWA, retro forward. So they're trying to bring you retro wrestling, but with a slight modern twist. So, they're taking all of these great shows, these great ideas from the past, and using current stars, but still presenting them in that kind of retro way. Who is gonna be added here? Days, who are you rooting for, Marty or Nick Aldis? Do you know what? I can kind of see benefits to both being victorious. So I'm going to just enjoy the match. Oh! Zane Dawson. The Dawsons have gone. Love the belts and the cup on the stage. It looks tremendous, and it doesn't cost a penny. About from an IKEA chain at some black curtains. Tremendous, industrious. Yes. Big kick. Back elbow. Oh, Latimer in trouble. Latimer in trouble. But he survives. Again, it's got a very different feel to the Power Studio, doesn't it? But as I said, I really love that ring. Love the ring post, the ring turnbuckles as well. NWA and Ring of Honor on them. Shout out to Famous KJ. Slim B says, what's up? Haven't been on the stream in a while, but I've been busy. Hope you are well. Yeah, same to you, buddy. We're really getting down to the business end here. No waiting around on this Battle Royal, is there? We've already got rid of a lot of the teams. We've got the boys in there. Look at that. What is this on? Ian, if you go to the NWA YouTube channel right now, this is the first match. The first match is a little battle royal to find the final team that's going to be added to the knockout tournament. don't think Latimer was eliminated, or Isaacs. Big kick by the boys. Yeah, Josephus does look very, very strange with that haircut. I hope SummerSlam will happen with a crowd. Absolutely. Big strike. I don't know if Josephus had his spiritual advisor at this time. I don't know the backstory of that. I gotta say as well, I absolutely love the banners. I don't know if you can see at the back where you've got Marty and you've got Nick. Oh, they've gone. Here we go. Oh, wild card win it. There we go. Isaacs and Latimer that we would know as wild card. Obviously part of Strictly Business now. The faction with Mr. Aldis. They emerge victorious here. So they have qualified for the tournament. I don't think they're going by the wild card name at this point. So look at those belts as well. Great looking championships. Days, I have a question. Do you think that WWE should bring back Lord Tensai with his Japanese monster gimmick if they don't ruin him again? Because I think it was awesome. I don't think he can go anymore. He's the head trainer, isn't he, down in the performance center? So he trains people now. So I don't think he's looking for an actual in-ring return or another run or anything like that. So I'd have to say no. I think there's enough talent as it is. Big smile on their faces as they walk away. So there we go. Wild card emerging victorious. Don't know what the next match is going to be for us. Days, I don't think CM Punk will return till the crowds are back because it would be silent when we hear his music. Oh, yeah, I'm not expecting CM Punk anytime soon. Caprice Coleman is here. So there we go. The brackets are done. So we're going to be able to see what the actual knockout tournament looks like. So there it is. Briscoes versus Rock and Roll Express. Then you've got Kojima and Nagata, as we said, from New Japan. Both had reached the mountaintop. Both had been champions. Taking on Villian Enterprises from Ring of Honor. We got Flip Gordan and Bandido. Wildcard down there as well. The CMLL team. So 1,277 people watching. Absolutely incredible. We're seeing a bit of backstory now with Flip Gordan and Bandido. I think maybe how they got into this tournament. Representing Ring of Honor. Days, we need a like strike. I think they're all right. They're doing all right, actually. They're on one. They've got 1,200 people watching. They've got over 300 likes. I think they're all right for a minute. Let people settle in. Let people settle down. Oh, my shirt has been shipped. Boom. WCW legend Nagata. Yes. Feuded with Ultimo Dragon in WCW. Was around for a little while. So yeah, absolute. I mean, both absolute legends. Both absolute legends. Dave's random question: what is your favorite present wrestling faction? Favorite present wrestling faction. Don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, the first one that comes to mind would be Undisputed Era, just because of how dominant they've been in NXT and the length of time that they've been around for as well. Plus, you know, I think that as a tag team, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, you know, they've been around for a long time. And then you've got Roderick Strong, you've got Adam Cole. I mean, that is an incredible faction. Their biggest problem is they haven't really got another faction to feud with. And then over on AEW, you've got the Elite, Death Triangle as well, which I'm still trying to get my head around, which is the Lucha Bros and Pac. And then, of course, Strictly Business. But again, Strictly Business haven't really got anyone to feud with. We were starting to see them feud with Ring of Honor. Starting to feud again with Marty. But, yeah, again, just all got interrupted, didn't it? My brother refuses to make a cup of tea. What WWE finisher should I put on him for this heinous crime? Just RKO him. Straight up RKO. Yeah, those banners look absolutely awesome. Brilliant. Bandido making his way down. I actually don't know who these guys are facing. So, Flip and Bandido should be a very fun match, this. Oh, I think they're taking on the CMLL guys. I'll just put CMLL. Boom. Undisputed Era should recruit a female member to win the women's championship. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense for that person to be Marina Shafir. I feel like Marina Shafir, what with her being the wife of Roderick Strong, would make a lot of sense. I wonder as well, do you think that NWA could pick up any of those superstars that were released recently? And if so, who? Who would you like to see the NWA picking up? Let me know in the chat. Be very, very interested, because there might be some weird and wonderful suggestions. I mean, Sarah Logan would be a big person for them to pick up. That would really help their women's division. Guerrero, Maya Jr., Stuka Jr. So there we go. Joe Galley saying they want to prove that they come from the best promotion. I believe these boys come from CMLL down in Mexico, bringing that lucha libre style. I don't know much about these guys. Crockett Cup first round. Eric Rowan in NWA. That could be interesting. Sarah Logan would be great in the NWA. Yep, I agree. I think she's got a very strong gimmick and character. I think that she's, got that kind of Viking vibe. She could be could you imagine Sarah Logan against Thunder Rosa? With, Camille around and Allysin Kay around and Melina around. You're starting to get a very, very interesting women's division then in NWA. So, yeah, I do feel that Sarah Logan would be a good person for them to pick up. Revival would be excellent. EC3. Do you think Heath Slater? I'm not sure if I could see Heath Slater. I don't know. Heath Slater might be a little bit too similar to Aaron Stevens with his kind of comedy. There's only so many places you could have for, the comedy characters. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I like Heath Slater, but I don't know. I think this is the conversation, isn't it? Would it work, what, with Aaron Stevens already there and the question mark already there? Just made a hardcore title. Very cool. What about the PC letting unknowns go recently? Why not grab them? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, when it comes to a lot of that PC talent, the Performance Center talent, I don't know a great deal about them. Because they did a few house shows and whatever. And, I never saw them compete. So, yeah. There's undeniable talent out there right now. Undeniable talent that's out there. This should be a very, very interesting match. Should have a real great lucha flavor to this. So, Might be something, I don't know who goes through, so it could be something very different to what we're going to see on the rest of the show. That's what I really like about the Crockett Cup, is the fact that you've got, like, Japanese strong style in this tournament. You've got Lucha Libre coming from Mexico. You've obviously got, like, a brawling style in there as well, but there's a technical style. It's this complete mesh of different wrestling styles. I don't know about the build on it, but I would have loved for them to have done that this year as well, for this year's Crockett Cup. If they really, really shouted about, you know, this is the Lucha Libre team, this is the brawling team, this is the technical mat wrestling team. And kind of, in many ways, you can treat the Crockett Cup kind of like Ultimate Fighting. You remember, like, UFC, when that first started, they were trying to figure out what was the best martial arts. You know, they had a boxer taking on a sumo wrestler. They had Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu taking on Judo. They had just straight up karate against, like, some guy from a bar down the road. Like, they literally just got all these different fighting styles. And the whole purpose of the first UFCs was to find the best fighting style. What is the king of the martial arts? That's how UFC came to be. Well, you can use the Crockett Cup for that. That's exactly what you can use the Crockett Cup for. Have Lucha Libre taking on strong style, Japanese strong style. Have brawlers taking on mat wrestlers and technical wrestling, and, you know, have high flyers taking on submission specialists, you know, all these different, and really make a thing out of that. Really shout about that. Oh, no! Flip Gordan accidentally super kicking Bandido. Yeah, that was a mistake. He boobed. There's no two ways about it. Against the ropes, round the houses, into a backbreaker. Look at that. Oh! Vicious backbreaker there as well. Ah! So good he did it twice. And another one. Oh! 4 backbreakers in a row. Boom. Rusev to NWA would be great. People keep saying AEW, but I don't get it. I'm not sure how he would fit unless he does a completely different gimmick. Yeah, Rusev. I mean, Rusev's got to be the biggest name that's out there that got released. Rusev, of course, you know, I said when he got released, we all think about him against Cena. We think about that tank. You know, he is someone that has kind of had that WrestleMania moment. That was a WrestleMania moment. Even though he lost the match, it was still a WrestleMania moment. So, yeah, one of the biggest names. Here we go. He's going to flip him over up. Down he goes. Damn, that was nasty. With the exception of WWE, it seems everyone is able to go different places if deals are made. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot more freedom outside of WWE. There's rumors that New Japan and AEW are getting ever closer to working a deal out, and that would be a great benefit to both of those companies. But I would lose my mind if we could get New Japan and NWA to have like a really close relationship. Clearly, they've got a relationship. April in 2019, we're seeing New Japan stars competing in the Crockett Cup. So clearly there's a relationship there. Clearly they've had negotiations. So I would love to see them kind of pushing forward with that. I think it was £10 a podcast that was asking the question, could you see the £10 of gold, the NWA Championship being defended at Wrestle Kingdom? And yes, of course, 100%. Yeah, that was a crazy little moment there. They were both going for a surfboard stretch, but they almost got pinned by Flip Gordan. Nice slide. Taking the legs away, pulling him to the outside and into the railings. Hard into the barricade. Got him up and Boom! Face first onto the hardest part of the ring. Oh, kick to the midsection. Shout out to Tick Plays. Days, how was the Vice documentaries? I haven't watched them yet. I know there's one about Benoit, a New Jack. I'm planning on watching them tomorrow. I've not seen them, to be honest. I watched the Benoit one because everyone was shouting about it, but yeah, it was alright. It was good. I mean, it's something that I've seen a lot of before. But I would say that it was probably the most comprehensive because obviously it was in 2 parts. But honestly, it's just not. It's just such a horrible story. It's not. It was never something that I was that interested in. Great work here, you know. Jim Cornette saying when you buy a ticket to the NWA, it's quite literally 3D because you could get the wrestlers in your lap. We've seen a couple of moments there where these superstars have gone flying out of the ring. You can see how much it means to both teams. Like, they're really giving it all. Some great wrestling in this. Wanting some of those chops. Kick to the midsection. Love the ring attire. I think it looks really smart. That white with the colourful, like, motif on the side looks really cool. Nice. Top rope enziguri. Down goes. Looking for a springboard. Drop kick. Lovely. In comes Bandido. Over the top. Head scissors. Ooh, takedown. To the outside. Here we go. Bandido against the ropes. Over the top. Tope Suicida. Should have called the air traffic controllers. Crockett Cup. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Fortson, shout out to you. NWA. 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 Days, what match are you most looking forward to at Money in the Bank? Oh, well, the Money in the Bank match where they've got to go all the way through the building. That's going to be crazy. Shout out to the Dead Man. Fortson says the Dark Sides were great. I've been watching since 2018. Shout out to you, David. And Nails and NY saying flip, 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 flip. I genuinely, I don't know who wins this match, but, I mean, a really fun opening match. We've kind of been talking about a few other bits and bobs, you know, there's obviously a lot of news around at the moment, so I think it's fair to kind of touch on whatever you guys want to talk about. But, yeah. Oh, look at that moonsault. Lovely work. Up top, frog splash. 1, 2, no. Just getting that shoulder up. Luke and Gallows to the NWA. I think they're almost certain to go back to New Japan. I think even Anderson was teasing it the other day. Carl Anderson had a little video, I'm sure, of showing Tokyo. And I'm sure they would have him back. Here we go, Bandido. Nice kick to the back. Looking for that power bomb, but it's going to be a suplex as well. Oh! 1, 2. Kick out. Kick out by Flip Gordan. High drama. High drama. Bandido's attire is tremendous. It's perfect for COVID-19 protection. He knew this last year. He knew this. Could you imagine if all the doctors and nurses were going around wearing Bandido masks to protect themselves? That's a world I want to live in. Just any kind of lucha libre masks or anything. All the health workers around the world just looking like their own Mexican promotion. Here we go. He's got Bandido up. No, Bandido. Oh! No way. Destroyer. Oh, Flip Gordan makes the save. This is just the opening match. I feel like I've seen everything. Oh, look at that move! Beautiful! Flip Gordan. Wow. That was amazing. They call him Flip for a reason. 2. Kick out. What was that? Says Nails and NY. Perfectly timed. The timing on it. You got a big chop over the top. Oh. It's like an arm drag slam. 1, 2. Oh, just getting that shoulder up. Referee just trying to reassure him that was definitely a 2. Yeah, already unbelievable action. Up. Bah! In comes Bandido. Just double stomps to break it up. That was Guerrero Maya Jr.'s finishing move. Didn't know that. To the outside. Some great commentary. Super kick. Flip Gordan. There's nearly 1,500 people watching this right now, enjoying this action, this Crockett Cup from 2019. Absolutely brilliant. You love to see it. Super kick. Bandido and Flip working together really well. He's on the shoulder. Planted. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. The CMLL guys are gone. It's Flip Gordan and Bandido. A spin-out cutter. So we're seeing the bracket. Look at that. What a great looking graphic that is. 1 for Ring of Honor. Yeah, CMLL are out. Ring of Honor team go through. Flip and Bandido won. They did. Love the lights and everything. They've done a really good job. Of setting all of that up. I think we're just going to have a look at Marty and Nick now. Yeah, we're just looking at how we got in the build to this. We saw this on Tuesday. Don't forget, this coming Tuesday on NWA YouTube channel, we're going to actually get brand new content. Never been shown before. Brand new content. Camille's first match. We're going to actually hear from Camille. This has been a big, big aspect of the NWA. Camille has been silent. We've never heard her speak. Even on her recent YouTube videos, she's been doing makeup tutorials, and she's been getting other people to do the voiceovers for them. So she's been doing these makeup tutorials, but she hasn't spoken on those. And we're going to hear her speak on Tuesday. She's going to speak, and she's going to have her first match. Obviously, I had been hoping that this was going to lead towards her taking on Thunder Rosa, so I'm very, very interested to hear what she's got to say, as I'm sure all of you are as well. So brand new NWA content this Tuesday. And of course, we will be doing the watch along for that. So a big, big show on Tuesday. And there's Camille. You can see Camille walking down with Nick Aldis. And they're just showing the history, like how these two kind of came through together, how long they've known each other for. Can we take a minute to talk about how good Joe Galli is? I'd never heard of him prior to Power. starting up. He is a good one. He's brilliant. Yeah, Joe Galli, excellent at what he does. I think he does, I think it was on Thunder Rosa's. I mean, if you've not seen, Thunder Rosa has been putting out some great videos recently. And she did one looking at Joe Galli. I think she might have been with Joe Galli, like looking at like his other job, because he works for like a news outlet. Crimson and Jax Dane. So here we go. We got Crimson and Jax Dane. Jax Dane versus... I'm just going to go with wild card. Is it wild cards or wild card? I don't know. Whatever. There we go. As long as we all know what we're watching. This is first round match again. So, the winners of this are going to go on to face Flip Gordan and Bandido. So, we will know what the next semi-final is going to be, basically. Camille versus Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa has got to happen. Camille is jacked. Rosa is lean. Who has been working harder during the lockdown. It's a really good point, isn't it? It's a really good point. Who has been using this lockdown to, you know, improve their skills in the ring? Who's been using this lockdown to train? And, do you know what I mean? Like, just think of all those house shows and things that haven't been going on, certainly for the likes of WWE. Yeah, this is going to be difficult for Crimson and Jax Dane, because they can't have prepared for these guys. They didn't know who their opponents were going to be, and they literally only just found out, thanks to that Battle Royal, that their opponents were going to be the Wild Card. Wild Card are only in this because they won that Battle Royal, and here they are taking on Crimson and Jax Dane. I remember when Marty used to host a late-night wrestling show a few years ago, says Carol. Former NWA World's Champion, Jax Dane. Yes, didn't we see him come out and challenge Tim Storm? Did Tim Storm get the title off Jax Dane? I'm sure that there was a story between those two. Obviously, going back, you know, a few years ago, NWA 10 pounds of gold was being carried by the likes of Jax Dane, Tim Storm, Colt Cabana. Those were kind of your champions. But recent times, it's just been absolutely dominated by Mr. Aldis. You know, Mr. Aldis really establishing himself as one of the greats for how long he's been holding that title, and, you know, carrying it with a lot of dignity as well. Obviously, those iconic matches against Cody as well. Really going to help his legacy. And who knows what 2020 was going to hold. We know that they faced each other, Mr. Aldis and Mr. Scurll, in 2019. They were going to face each other again at the Crockett Cup this year. But, man, there was some tasty stare downs. That stare down between Aldis and the Great Muta, I got very excited about that. There's some big matches. There's some big free agents that they could bring in just for some one-off matches. I don't see any reason why you can't do Rusev versus Nick Aldis as a one-off match. Do it as a one-off match. Build up to it. One-off match. Have that match. Nick Aldis wins. Rusev joins AEW. I mean, if he's not going to be sticking around, this is what I'm saying. There's no reason why you can't do it. Cody never joined NWA, yet he was still the champion, and he still carried the title, and they were still able to tell a story. So even if Rusev isn't joining NWA, they could still use him. Same with Sarah Logan, you know. Even if she doesn't join NWA, they could still use her. Same with the Revival. Jason Peace says, shout out please, I love this channel, keep it up, can I get a thank you? Yeah, I could put that at the bottom, bud. Absolutely. A thank you to Jason Peace. Thank you, Jason Peace. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Shout out to you, bud. Thank you for the support. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. Obviously, this is a very unusual time for us to be streaming NWA. It's not often that we stream NWA on a Sunday, so in a way, it's a little bit random. But, yeah, brilliant. Really enjoying the show. It's been some great wrestling so far. And the matches that we've still got, you know, as we said, Mr. Aldis against Marty Scurll. We've got the Women's Championship being defended. We've got the National Heavyweight Championship being defended as well. We're going to have the final of the Crockett Cup, and legit, I don't know who wins. So, yeah, there's a lot still to come. A lot still to come. Question, what's up with the streamers? I see it a lot with Ring of Honor matches, and I don't see it anywhere else. Well, streamers tend to be like a Japanese thing, don't they? So you might see it a lot with Ring of Honor because they have great relationships with New Japan, and they have a lot of Japanese performers. I did see that they were putting streamers in, and streamers were being used in that opening match. I can only imagine that it's some kind of Mexican thing as well, but I know it more for Japan than I know it for anywhere else. So, yeah, you don't see it in NWA or on Power or anything, but then they don't have any Japanese performers. Be interesting to see if we see it later when the New Japan guys come out. I love seeing wrestlers turning up random places. Yes, it makes it very exciting. I mean, one of my favourite moments is when Marty appeared in the NWA. That was, yeah, a brilliant moment. Madupt says, I'm listening to you whilst I'm driving home. Hope you got my 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Much love. Madupt, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate the support. I gotta be honest, I never go on to those podcast things, so if you've left a 5-star review, it'll be Tommy that sees it more so than me. I tend to look more after the YouTube side of things, and Tommy looks after more of the podcast side of stuff, but really, really appreciated. There is a Wrestling Days podcast, Wrestling Escape Pod, that drops every Friday. The response has been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So really, really appreciate that. So, yeah, if you've left a 5-star review, it's massively appreciated. Massively appreciated. Right, let's go back to this action. We've got Royce Isaacs coming in. Dane in there as well, throwing some headbutts in. Boom! Down goes Isaacs. Jumping over, colliding into the corner. He's got Isaacs on his shoulders, plants him down. Samoan drop. Days has worked so hard for the Rosa Camille match. Yeah, I'm hoping we get it. I'm hoping we get it, William. Shoulder charges into the corner. Don't forget, this is for a spot in the semi-final. Not only do the winners get the Crockett Cup, the winners get those tag championships. Oh, look at this. Look how strong he is. Oh, both guys, he had both members of Wildcard on his shoulders. That was incredible. That was great work. Crimson gingerly getting back into the ring. You can see a bit of damage has been done here. Onto the shoulders. I don't even know how he's got the strength to still pick people up, but here we go. Latimer working on the legs of Crimson. Dane having to jump onto the outside. Nice roll up. 1, 2. Oh, they used the ropes. Stole it. Latimer steals the win. There we go. Look at that. Brilliant work. Brilliant work. So they win the Battle Royal, and now they've just managed to steal that win, cheat their way through. So it's going to be Royce Isaacs and Latimer that go through and take on Flip Gordan and Bandido. So now we know one of our semi-finals, one of those teams will be in the final. So will it be Wildcard or will it be Flip Gordan and Bandido? One of those teams will make it to the final. We've got some great teams on the other side of the bracket, though. We got the Briscoes. We got the Rock and Roll Express. We got Kojima and Nagata. We got Villian Enterprises as well. Some mouth-watering matches still to come. In fact, this might be controversial, but my favourite teams are on the other side of the draw. So, Briscoes taking on the Rock and Roll Express. Cheaters. Hello, Sunny Wolf. Hope you are well. Heath Slater could form an alliance with Aaron Stevens. That's a good shout, Ben Russell. I never considered that. That's a very good shout. I think I'm right in saying the Rock and Roll Express were in the very first Crockett Cup in 1986. Fast forward all of these years later, and here they are in the 2019 version, taking on one of the best tag teams in modern wrestling, the Briscoes. The Briscoes, one of the best teams of today, taking on one of the best teams of all time, the Rock and Roll Express. What a matchup that is. Brilliant. Look at this promo. Look at his wide eyes. Getting like Uso. If you mix the Usos with like Tommaso Ciampa. If Tommaso Ciampa had children with the Usos, I think it would be the Briscoes. Guess who's late again? Well, welcome, my friend. We run this. Beep. I love the little slide in the background. Do you think that's part of their training regime? Do you think... Can you imagine the Briscoes just going there? Whee! Briscoes, if you are watching, I never said that. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Mr. Cornette. Mr. Cornette getting in the ring. Rock and roll. Here we go. This is what I've seen. This is when I said I'd seen some of these first round matches, this is the one in particular that I've seen. To see the Rock and Roll back in action in an NWA ring, taking on the Briscoes. This is what caught my attention. This is why I heard about the Crockett Cup, was this match in particular. Legends, absolute legends. One of the best tag teams of all time, the Rock and Roll Express. Love Mr. Cornette. Well, he definitely splits opinion, but what I appreciate is his knowledge of wrestling. His knowledge of wrestling, his connection to wrestling, his passion for wrestling cannot be, denied. So here we go. He's going to do a quick chat with the Rock and Roll. The most decorated tag team in the history of professional wrestling. I think the Dudley Boys might have something to say about that, but... You were never able to go, never won the Crockett Cup. I think it was the, wow, I'm not going to say. Now that you know that the 86 one is on the WWE Network, I won't say who I think wins the first one. Jim Cornette says, do you guys know exactly what you've got yourselves into? How many times have you seen us back down? When someone has a cool gimmick like the Briscoes, the last place they should go is WWE. This is I really like this. I really like the fact that they're taking a moment to talk to these legends. You fans made us 5 times world champions. They're in the WWE Hall of Fame and they never even wrestled there. That's how great they are. There we go. He said it's on the bucket list to win the Crockett Cup. The crowd are definitely going to be behind these guys. Definitely going to want to see them do well here. Rock and roll chant by the crowd. Briscoes should either stay in Ring of Honor or join NWA. They're a great team, aren't they? Great team. There might be a few people watching this that have never seen the Briscoes. I know not everyone watches Ring of Honor. I'd imagine most people have seen the Briscoes. They are one of the best teams. I mean, look at that. Just look at the look on them. We were watching a Briscoes match just the other day when we saw the build to this. So if you joined us on Tuesday for the whole build towards this Crockett Cup, then you will have seen the Briscoes in action. But look at this for a matchup. This is one of those matches that you just hear about in the wrestling world, you know. As I said, I didn't see this event, but even I heard about this. Even I heard that the Rock and Roll were back. They were competing in the Crockett Cup, and they were taking on the Briscoe Brothers. And you just go, what? Cornette says, we were not quite finished with that interview. There we go. Hand me that microphone before I whoop your ass. Love that pin that Cornette is wearing. Is it a NWA one? Because it might be. If it was, then it'll be on their shop. If you go to NWA shop, then you'll be able to find it on there. Get ready to see Corny run for it. The Rock and Rolls were part of an NWA invasion. They did wrestle the Headbangers at the Survivor Series for the NWA Tag Team Championships. Do you know, I can't recall that off the top of my head, and I don't know why. I'll have to add it to another, and I'll have to have a refresher on that. Okay, here we go. Look, the Briscoes giving them a couple of choices. Walk away and forfeit, and your bodies will stay in one piece. Me and my brother retire your old asses right here, right now. I think they should walk away. I don't think there's any shame in walking away. Walk away from them boys. Oh, he hasn't done it. Here we go, Rock and Roll. Boom, we're underway. Knee strike to the head. So, Streamer's getting thrown in again. Oh, nice. Hurricanrana. Double drop kick. So, Rock and Roll getting the early start here. We're up to 1,700 people watching right now on NWA. Elder Sour, shout out to you. They're an awesome heel team. Rock and roll, rock and roll. Yes. This is a really exciting matchup. One of the greatest tag teams of all time, taking on, as we said, one of the best teams right now. Didn't they say on Tuesday that the Briscoes were like 10-time Ring of Honor champs? In fact, I'm gonna Wikipedia that. Briscoe Brothers. Let's have a look. Let's get some answers. Briscoe Brothers have been competing since the year 2000. 11-time Ring of Honor champions now. 11-time Ring of Honor champions. The Briscoes are 12-time World Tag Team Champions, 11-time Ring of Honor, 1-time IWGP Tag Team Champions in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They also won the 6-man Tag Team Championships with Bully Ray. So they had Bully Ray in their team, and they were 6-man tag champs. They won the Never Openweight 6-man tag championships in New Japan as well. So they've been in PWG. They've been in Ring of Honor. They had a WWE tryout in 2009. In 2009, the Briscoe Brothers tried out for World Wrestling Entertainment at their SmackDown and ECW tapings. The following month, they were invited to FCW. They were eventually turned down by WWE as they were not cosmetically pleasing. So they took a look at them and thought, oh, they look too dirty. They look too grimy and dirty for us. WWE at that stage they were looking to hire the Bellas. You know, people like that. They probably took one look at the Briscoes and they were like, not sure. Oh, hello, we've gone black and white here. We've gone black and white. I mean, we knew that the Rock and Roll were old school, but I didn't realise that it was going to go black and white. Oh, now the colours come back. Briscoes back in control right now. Oh, is that why it went black and white? Because there's a little bit of... Oh, is that why they're doing it? Have they got to do that because of the blood? If there's blood, they have to go black and white because there's blood. Oh, look at this. Hey, look, the Briscoes warned them. The Briscoes said, didn't they? They gave them the opportunity to walk away. Look at this. This match is so brutal, it's taken the colour away from it. The colour has had to go. The colour has got scared and run away. Kick to the midsection. Big boot. This is brutal, man. Hardcore stuff. Hardcore stuff. Dem Boys said they wouldn't change their gimmick. It must be a YouTube thing. Yeah, it must be. I don't know. I can't think. I can't think of like how the WWE do it. If ever they have like someone that gets cut open, I don't think they go black and white, do they? Big Strike's back. Yeah. Let's go Briscoes, rock and roll. We've got dueling chants right now. If you are watching and you are just joining us, jump over to the NWA YouTube channel. You can watch the show for free. We are watching free wrestling. Think about that. Not even any adverts. No adverts. Not being charged. This is free wrestling. And it's great as well. Rock and roll. Robert Gibson's in. Back elbow. And again, Briscoe's in a little bit of trouble. Back body drop. Gibson kick to the midsection. Clothesline. Morton going up top. Ricky Morton. He's up top. He needed some help. Here we go. Gets launched. Connects. Could the rock and roll do it? 2. Ah! Came out of nowhere. On WWE's YouTube, when there's blood, it goes black and white. Okay. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever seen that. But yeah, it must be a YouTube thing. Morton into the corner. Non-stop action here. What a great match this has been. Like a freight train. Oh! Big boot. Gibson down on the outside. Ah! Is that like a single leg drop kick to the outside? That was great. Plants him down. Frog splash. No, elbow drop. 1, 2, 3, and it's the Briscoes. It's the Briscoes that progress. Rock and roll. Eliminated. But at least they got the promo beforehand. At least they got an opportunity to speak to the crowd, and the crowd got a chance to cheer for them, and it's probably the right result, isn't it, in all fairness? Yeah, you've got to give them credit. What a very fun, enjoyable match that was. So we know our third team now that's going to progress to the semi-final. Briscoes, man, looking really good. Briscoes win, yeah. 63-year-old Ricky Morton, 61-year-old Robert Gibson. Incredible. I don't mind black and white because I don't like blood. I love a back body drop. Oh, a good old back body drop, eh? Oh. Obviously, we would see them again in NWA. Clearly, the NWA was listening to the reaction and the response. And look at this. There are people chanting their names. People really pleased to see the rock and roll. And, of course, we would see them again on NWA Power. And look, this is going to be the Japanese guys. Kojima and Nagata. The Briscoes are looking very good. PCO. Oh, man. What a matchup this is going to be. This is probably the match I'm most excited for so far. This is going to see Brody King and PCO taking on Kojima and Nagata. Really, really tasty stuff. As we said, both of those Japanese guys have reached the mountaintop. They have both been IWGP heavyweight champions. And then PCO, who of course you all know from the Quebecers. Obviously was around in the WWF for a long time. I believe was Ring of Honor champion very, very recently as well. Someone I was hoping to see compete in the Crockett Cup this year. PCO. There he is. Look, there's PCO. Great gimmick. Very interesting, backstory to the PCO character. He's like a Frankenstein monster. PCO, powered by electricity. Here's Brody King. So, Brody King making his way down. And here, look, you can hear the electricity. Brody King. He is the normal one in this. Here he is. PCO. Jim Cornette says he knew him 20 years ago when he was a great wrestler. The fact that he's still going now. I want to have a look actually and see how old he is so that you know how old he is. Let me jump on to PCO's Wikipedia so I can give you this information. So these guys obviously representing Ring of Honor. Pierre Carl Ouet, who we saw in the Quebecers. Jean-Pierre Lafayette. He was in WCW as well, WWF, NWA when they were affiliated with TNA. He is, let me tell you, PCO. Here they are, look. Representing New Japan, he is 52 years old. 52! Incredible. He announced that he had signed at the end of 2018. He debuted for Ring of Honor as part of Villian Enterprises. He's also competed against the likes of Gorillas of Destiny. Incredible. He also had a match, PCO, against Volta. He took on Volta in GCW. Wow. Look at PCO, man. I love him. Such an interest. The fact that he's still going at that age and he's reinvented himself. I've got a lot of respect for wrestlers that reinvent themselves. Representing New Japan. Both of them are. Yeah, both have been IWGP champs. So there we go. Two of the very, very best to come from New Japan. They may be a little bit older by this stage, though. That's the only downside, is they're probably a little bit older. Like, they are legends, and it's a great team. But they're not at their peak here. They're not at their absolute prime during this. So it's hard to know, actually. Even though both the New Japan guys have been to the mountaintop, they achieved it in the 90s. Brody King might be the difference maker here. Brody King, you know, someone that's in his prime, might just have a little bit too much. But then you just don't know. You don't know I don't know who wins this. I don't know. This wasn't a match that I ever saw. Love Brody King, though. What a great look. Roll through. Nice. Drop kick to the legs. Takes the base away. Everyone's the same size when they're down on the mat. Apart from Yokozuna. He was probably bigger. Lovely. Submission hold. Vape Ross Vape. All this at the age of 52. Yeah. Incredible. Brody looks like he's got clothes on. The tattoo guy almost looks a little bit like Aleister Black. Shout out to Mr. Wrestling Games. PCO stepping into the ring right now. So if you've not seen PCO compete, this is going to be a real treat. As we said, he's in there. I think he's at 51 at this point. 52 years old now. Reinvented himself. A great wrestler. A fantastic wrestler. Someone that's got that passion for wrestling. You know, a lot of wrestlers find it very, very difficult to retire from wrestling. You know, that's why you see them competing. Like, the buzz of wrestling. PCO has absolutely got that. Quite literally, because he's powered by electricity. So, there we go. That's where he's getting his buzz from. If you are young and you are watching, please do not power yourself with electricity. Just make sure you're eating your vegetables. Here we go. Look at this for a showdown between these two. Oh, down he goes. And he gets right back up. £10 gold says PCO. I've been told that lots of Japanese wrestlers have done MMA, including Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, there's a big crossover. Obviously Suzuki as well. Very well known for that. And of course, if you want to talk about Japanese wrestlers and you want to talk about MMA, you've got to talk about Antonio Inoki versus Muhammad Ali. That took place in, I want to say 77, and it's regarded as one of the first MMA matches because you had a boxer, Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, regarded as one of the greatest, taking on a wrestler, again, one of the greatest all time, Antonio Inoki, in a match where they went off against each other. Legit boxer versus wrestler. I mean, that's what MMA is all about, mixed martial arts. Different fighting styles, boxer versus wrestler. That took place in the 70s. It's amazing that more people don't know about that because it includes, you know, two of the biggest names in combat, you know. Antonio Inoki, who created New Japan, learned from Ricky Dozan in Japan, created New Japan, and obviously Muhammad Ali. So there's a very rich history where wrestlers kind of cross over into the MMA world. 52 is still young days. I feel 51. I need to find that. It's awful. It's awful. It's a rubbish match. What happens during that match is the problem was, right, that and they didn't know if it was going to be real or if it was going to be scripted. Like, they didn't know how it was going to play off. And Muhammad Ali wanted to make sure, of course, that he was as protected as possible. So there was all these rules that got brought in. So it turns out it's a real fight. But there's so many rules, like, I can't remember what they all are, but you're not allowed to do, like, so many different things. And so what happens is Antonio Inoki, as soon as the bell rings, jumps down onto the floor, right? And literally lies there just kicking out. So whenever Muhammad Ali gets close, Antonio Inoki just kicks him in the shins and kicks him in the legs. And so, you know, it's really hard. Like, Muhammad Ali can't hit him because he's down on the floor. He can't get down. As soon as he gets close, he's getting kicked. And it's just that, round after round after round after round. People start booing. But, I mean, what was Antonio Inoki meant to do? If he gets close to him, he's going to get knocked out. Muhammad Ali would have knocked him out. There's no doubt about that. So instead, he had to just do something else. It ends up, well, I won't tell you what the end result is, in case you do want to watch it. But, yeah, it's not great. I can tell you that much. It's not great. People do start booing and everything. And those kicks were so serious that Muhammad Ali, it looked like he was going to have his one of his legs amputated. He got kicked that hard and that often. I think there was a blood clot in his leg that formed. And he had to get it looked at. And there was even talk that they might not be able to save his leg. Because he just got kicked hard as well. And it was very serious stuff. So, yeah, again, crazy that it doesn't get spoken about more. But they were great friends after. You know, they became great friends. Brody King with a kick. Days, my wife just saw you on the computer and said, is that Joey Fantone? Who? Fatoni? Fatoni? I don't even know. Fatone? Fatone? I don't even know who that is. I'm guessing they're fit. If they're fit, say yes. If they're not, say no. Kick by PCO. PCO in, making the save. You can see just how great, how technical this wrestling is. We had a Fujinara armbar there. Brody King back into the corner. Knee strike. Looking for a belly-to-belly, but couldn't get it. Clothesline. Nagata goes down. Brody King with the cover. 2. Kick out. Shout out to Aldis. Days question mark or Bruce Lee? Well, it's the dream match, isn't it? I mean, that would be the all-time dream MMA contest. They should definitely do that. They should definitely do like an MMA fight with the question mark. Allow him to bring in some of that Mongrovian karate. I don't know who he could go up against, but that'd be very interesting. Maybe bring in Ken Shamrock. Imagine Ken Shamrock being brought in for a one-off fight against the question mark. That would be insane. That'd be brilliant. Someone with his MMA background, Ken Shamrock's MMA background, that would be awesome. Big chops, look at this. Quick chops coming in. Whoa! No commentary necessary. PCO gets hurled into the other corner. Joey is from NSYNC and Days is much sexier. I'm so glad that's what we're talking about. I'm so glad that that's where we are as a wrestling community. NSYNC conversations, that's what I live for. Here we go. Now PCO's the one that's throwing in some chops. Oh! He doesn't have the screaming that was required. Looking for a chokeslam, though. Drives him back into the corner. Here we go. Picking him up. Oh, couldn't quite get it. Oh! Lovely cutter. Lovely work. PCO Spirit just left his body. Bring on the electricity. Days, could you see the SmackDown hacker being Paul Ellering? No. That'd be interesting. Michinoku Driver. I missed it. I was talking about Paul Ellering. No, I can't. I don't think Paul Ellering would know how to hack. Back elbows. Brody King is in there now. Don't forget, this is to find that final semi-final position. Picks him up. Brody King slams Kojima down. Lovely. Senton 2. Nagata comes in. PCO throwing Nagata out of the ring. Two-thirds. So they were current six-man champions at this point as well, which is very interesting. We have a Lethal Weapon reference. The stream is complete. This match is strange and I like it. Brainbuster. You don't see Brainbusters that often. PCO making the save. Nagata coming in, grabbing PCO, hurling him out the ring. PCO to the outside, so it just leaves Kojima and Brody King. These two fighting each other right in front of the crowd. Here we go. Ah, clothesline. Brody King looking for a finish. 2, 3. Michinoku Driver wins it. Brody King So the New Japan guys are out. I thought Brody King could be the difference maker. That was fun. That was fun. So first round matches are done. We are up to that was the quarterfinal stage. We're up to the semi-final stage now. Semi-final stage. You do not mess with the lethal weapon, Steve Blackman. Shout out to the real world champion, Mr. Nick Aldis, who, of course, is in action during this show against Marty. Very much looking forward to that. There's been a big build for this. We saw the build for it on Tuesday. And we're getting ever closer. The first round matches are done with the Crockett Cup. We're at the semi-final stage. The NWA is live and well. You can say that again. Now, I don't know. I should imagine they're going to take a break from the tournament because we've had all the first round matches. I know there's a women's title match. I know that there's the National Heavyweight Championship as well. So I'd imagine it'll be one of those next. A little palate cleanser until we get to the semi-final. Here we go. They're going back. Look at the size of that Crockett Cup. Yeah, Ring of Honor looking very good. So for those of you just joining, we've got semi-final matches coming up of the Briscoes taking on Villian Enterprises. And Gordan and Bandido, Flip Gordan and Bandido taking on Royce Isaacs and Thomas Latimer. Oh, I never knew this. Jazz has become injured and had to vacate the title. So now it's going to be Allysin Kate against Santana Garrett. I never knew this. Ah! Medusa! Medusa! Alundra Blaze! One of my all-time favorites. One of the best. Absolutely one of the best. Medusa. Brilliant. I was fortunate enough to see her compete at a house show. She came over and competed in the UK, and I was there to watch. Look at this. Oh. We all know what your name is. We all know what your name is. You haven't got to introduce yourself. I should spelling it for you as well if you need to know. Made in the USA. A lot of you might know her from WCW. But, she says, I'm not an advocate or an insurance policy. Promotions. Obviously, WWF champion. So they've got the NWA Women's Championship there. That's not the championship that we know now. So Allysin Kay. This is great. Love Alundra Blaze. Daisy's popping like crazy for Blaze. I love Alundra Blaze. One of my all-time favorites. If you've seen her competing in Japan, you know, I've seen her having matches against Aja Kong, Seeing her competing, obviously, against the likes of Bull Nakano in WWF. Obviously, like, I didn't really see too much of her when she was Medusa in WCW, to be honest, because I never really watched a great deal of WCW. I've gone back and seen a few things, and they didn't seem to use her right. They used her for her looks. It was Attitude Era kind of stuff, you know. But before the Attitude Era, you know, we saw her at WrestleMania 10 when we did a watch-along. Alondra, do you remember? Some of you might remember we did that WrestleMania 10 watch-along. It was Alondra Blaze versus Leilani Kai. So athletic. So great in the ring. So underappreciated. No title trashing tonight. You might remember she drops that championship in the trash can. One of the most iconic moments in the history of wrestling. Do you know she's like a monster truck champion as well? She had a monster truck called Medusa, and she won the Monster Jam title or whatever it's called. This big pink monster truck. Here we go, ladies, let's make history. I can see Thunder Rosa actually in the NWA chat there saying that she should have been defending the championship tonight. Moolah getting a shout out. Mae Young getting a shout out. So one of these women will become the new NWA Women's Champion. Of course, Thunder Rosa holds that championship now. I can see Brian Rosa. Brian Rosa is in the NWA chat as well. Look, I don't know if Medusa can still go. I don't know if Alondra Blaze can still wrestle, but man, I hope she can. I'd love one more match. One more match. Imagine that. Medusa versus Thunder Rosa. That would be brilliant. Allysin Kay in the ring. She told the story when she got the call that she was going in the Hall of Fame. She was changing clothes for her monster truck rally. She had to sit down to calm down, and she was naked. I never heard that. Santana, Garrett. Competed in Stardom. Former NWA World Women's Champion as well, so... It's so great to be able to say belt, because that's what they are. Little dig at the WWE. I've got to say, I'm glad they changed it, though. I think they were definitely right to change it. I don't think it looks like a great belt. But we are underway with this women's match. So there will be a new champion. How interesting that Jazz was injured. I don't know if that's true, or, you know, if she just couldn't turn up, or I don't know. But I wonder if that means that she could stake a claim in the future. You know, she never actually lost the title. I don't know if she ever competes again for it, but hey, if she was to turn up again and say that she wanted a shot at a belt that she never lost, she could do that, couldn't she? Very, very interesting. I like Santana Garrett. Look at that look into the camera. I appreciate anyone that's got bright ring attire. Everyone has got such dark ring attire these days that everyone just wears black. So anyone that's going to come in with a little bit of colour is definitely going to grab my attention. So, yeah, I think this will be a good little match. Both obviously very experienced. 1, 2. I love the fact as well, they really built it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, they had Medusa come out I wonder if a Medusa was going to be there this year. Oh, there we go. According to Jim Cornette, they didn't know this match was going to happen until a short time before it slammed down. Good work by Allysin Kay. She's also a former WOW champion, Women of Wrestling. Neon is in. Neon is in, says Ted. There we go. Breaking news. Neon is in. I don't know, where do you watch Women of Wrestling? Is it on Fight? Or is it on YouTube? Or I don't even know where you watch Women of Wrestling. I think Stardom have got their own network. Big chop. Here we go. Allysin Kay charging. Big collision. Santana Garrett goes down. 1, 2. Yeah, only just getting her shoulder up. Working. Nice. Submission hold. She is stretching her out, and you can see Medusa at ringside with that championship belt. There we go. I wonder if she's looking on thinking, I could still go with these women. I could still give these women a good match. I would love that. I would love that. Days, when will you do a Wheel of Fun? No idea. No thanks on a Jazz return. She took an AEW appearance 2 weeks after this. I don't know. I don't mind. I think there's a story to be told. I'm not saying that she has to win the title, but I suppose it's not necessarily needed, is it, at this stage? I think the women's division has moved on. It's got its own stars now, you know, an established roster. Oh. 1, 2, shoulder up. That would have been great, though, if she had took the NWA Women's Championship to AEW. We have seen some other championships shown in AEW. Of course, Kenny Omega, the AAA champion. And Cody has got a great respect for the NWA. Of course, the history of the NWA. So I kind of feel like if she had been champion those 2 weeks later, kind of feel like there would have been a chance that they would have allowed that NWA Women's Championship onto their show. Which would have been nice exposure. Chops back and forth. Garrett chopping at Allysin Kay. Big forearm strike. And again, look, trading blows. Goes for a kick. Duck underneath. Working on the arm. Oh, no. Couldn't quite get it. They both kick each other at the same time. They both go down. So, both women down at this stage. It's on TV here in the US. They do have a YouTube, but they don't put much on there. Teal Piper is with them, as is Holidead, and of course, Thunder Rosa / Serpentine. Super kicks, yes. How long is this show? Not too sure, to be honest. Not too sure. I would guess that we're probably around the halfway point. I would guess we're about an hour and a half in. I would guess it would be around about 3 hours. So I would guess that there's about an hour and a half still to go. Of course, after this, we've still got the 2 semi-finals and the final. So there's 3 matches of the Crockett Cup. We've still got the National Heavyweight Championship match. And then, of course, we've still got that massive main event. Nick Aldis defending the £10 of gold against Marty Scurll. So I think there's about 5 matches to go. And so I reckon we're around about the halfway point. But of course, it's just going to keep building and building. We got that massive... I mean, this is a big match. Great. I didn't even know that Medusa was on this show. So absolutely brilliant to see her. Santana Garrett on the outside. Nice kick. Allysin Kay having to dig quite deep here. Famous KJ says Thunder Rosa for life. Allysin Kay goes down. Boom. Nice. Kick to the chin, and Allysin Kay backs to the corner. Nice. Cartwheel over, back elbow. Lovely work. Looking for a running bulldog. No, couldn't get it. Against the ropes. Slides under the legs. Takes the legs away from Allysin Kay. Against the ropes. Over the top. Lovely. Look at this. Made famous by the great Muta. The Muta lock is applied. Oh, look at that. Kay is managing to stand up from it. Breaks the hold. Net breaker. Kick to the midsection. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, almost getting a 3. Almost getting a 3. We will have a new champion. Obviously, on the previous shows to this, it was Jazz that was champion. Nice kick. Down goes Allysin Kay. 1, 2. Oh, I thought she got her. I swear I thought that was a 3. Woo, that was close. That was close, man. Shout out to Kenneth Terry. Hope you are well. Scream of frustration from Allysin Kay. Hello, Imtiaz. Hope you are well. Here we go. Allysin Kay going up top, but Garrett popping up as well. If you are just joining us, I can see there's people joining us all the time. We are watching the NWA. Jump over to the NWA YouTube channel. Here we go. Oh, big strike. Allysin Kay. Definitely felt that. She's going to look to flip her off the top. She does. Here we go. Santana Garrett against the ropes. No one home. Allysin Kay. Nice. Discus lariat. 2, 3. Gets her. And that's how Allysin Kay becomes the women's champion. You might remember she was women's champion when NWA Power had started. So that's how she gets the belt. I had no idea, though, that Medusa was there at the time that she won it. Brian Hebner. And it's Medusa that hands that championship. Oh, Allysin Kay snatching it. Oh, Allysin Kay, show some respect. Show some respect. There we go, the new women's champion. Yeah, that's a good point. She was going to challenge for it anyway. It was meant to be Allysin Kay against Jazz. And again, Allysin Kay just getting in her face. Rolls out the ring. Great work. Glad we got a refresh on that belt. I agree, Fortson. I agree. I think the new title that had the image in the middle looks so much better. That looks like too plain, doesn't it? Yeah, we got the National Championship on the line. We've got the final of the Crockett Cup. We've got the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match coming up. Of course, the next couple of matches are going to be those semi-final matches. We're going to find out what teams are going to make it to the final of the Crockett Cup. There's nothing online about Sting. Sting rushed to the ER. No. Keep an eye on that, Nails and NY. So here, look, we're here from Mr. Aldis. You can see Camille as well. Again, just a reminder, on Tuesday, we will be able to see Camille's first match. We will hear from Camille, and we will see her first match. There's Marty. Sonny or Jim should ban people for lying about serious things like that. Days, have you got any new figures? No. Donna Wrestling, shout out to you. Hope you are well. We are enjoying this show. It's been a really fun show so far. There's been some really great moments. Really enjoyed Rock and Roll against the Briscoes. It was great to see those New Japan stars. PCO obviously is someone that is a lot of fun. And Medusa as well coming out. So there's been some really good stuff so far. And things are just building. Just getting bigger and bigger. They've still got nearly 1,700 people watching. Like, that number has just been steadily growing all throughout the show. Nick Aldis says he is the senior. It's a lovely shirt that Marty's got. We've got to give credit to that shirt. It's the kind of shirt I could see Hangman Page wearing. It's got lots of horses on it. Yeah, they heavily used Ring of Honor for the build of this because, of course, there was no Power at this time. So they couldn't build the story on Power. It was being built on Ring of Honor TV. It was being built through that £10 of gold series. There's Caprice. The Midnight Express? Wow. Stan Lane. Great wrestler. Dennis Condrey. Bobby Eaton, regarded as one of the best, an absolutely fantastic wrestler. All you keep hearing about with Bobby Eaton, I haven't seen a great deal of Bobby Eaton stuff, but all you keep hearing about is how incredible Bobby Eaton was. Bobby Eaton, in the 80s, at times, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Brilliant. Days, I think regarding Sting is fake. There's no report about it. Thank you. Midnight Express, I know, yeah. Incredible. Nice little shout out. So I really love how they're using legends, and it does make you wonder how they would have used the legends this year as well. I mean, just think about who we've seen. Like, we've had Jim Cornette with Rock and Roll. Now, before we get to the semi-final stage, we've got the Midnight Express. And then before the Women's Championship, there was Medusa. I'm sure there would have been some legends at this year's event as well. There we go. Like, this Derek guy in their chat is saying Bobby was one of the best workers. People always going on about Bobby. Bobby was underrated. Days, have you ever seen the Golden Girls? Bits, but I don't think it's my kind of thing. Bobby Eaton is very beloved. There we go, Midnight Express, absolute legends. Yeah, that was great. That was a great little moment. I didn't know that was going to take place, so it's always great to see legends. It's something that WWE are horrific at. Absolutely horrific. They just do not use the legends at all. Could you imagine before, like, Brock versus Drew, like, you know, they got Sting or someone to come down to just, you know, build up the hype to that match. Instead, it's just, here's the match. You know, there's so much that they could do with legends, and they just don't do it. So we are at the semi-final stage. Eaton's match against Arn Anderson for the NWA TV title made him a singles star. If this wasn't an old show, I would have thought that Alondra and Allysin would be a thing now. Right, here we go then, my friends. Here we go. This is going to be very, very interesting. This is going to be Wild Card taking on Bandido and Flip Gordan. So, obviously, we've already seen these teams in action tonight. Wild Card, actually, this is their third time being in the ring. They had to win the Battle Royal. Then they had to get back past Crimson and Jack Stain. And now here they are in the semi-final. Can they get past Flip Gordan and Bandido? They look great in their first round match, actually, Flip Gordan and Bandido. A thing as in a feud, not a couple. I did wonder. They'd make a lovely couple. It's just, I know that Medusa is very happily married to someone in the military, so... Here we go. Flip Gordan, Bandido taking on Royce Isaacs and Thomas Latimer. Who is going to go through to the final? That's the question. This is, do you know what? This is NWA versus Ring of Honor. That's what you're watching right now. NWA being represented by the Wild Card, taking on Ring of Honor with Bandido and Flip Gordan. So, as I said, you know, very interesting. Who is going to emerge victorious in this one? Flip Gordan is amazing. Days, I'm just checking in to make sure Rotella is behaving himself. I believe he is, sir. I try to ignore him. I'm joking. £10 a podcast. You know I love you. Nice. Head scissor takedown by Flip Gordan. Working on the arm. Latimer in the ring. Doing well. Representing NWA. Driving Flip Gordan back to the corner. In comes Royce Isaacs. I've said before as well, there is a severe lack of tassels in wrestling. I really do feel like tassels is one of the biggest victims in modern wrestling. If you think about modern wrestling and you think about tassels, you're going to struggle to think about anyone that has them on their ring gear. So big shout out to Royce Isaacs, who is rocking some lovely tassels this evening. And in all fairness, I think he's been rocking them on Power as well. So he's a big fan of the tassels, and I'm a big fan of his as a result. I'd like to see some tassels around the arm up here. You know, around the biceps, some classic, like, Ultimate Warrior tassels. Lovely work from Bandido. Again, though, look, some tassels on the old wristbands as well. Bailey used to represent the tassels very well. Do you remember when she had them all on her, like, tights? And she'd come out and she'd be dripping in tassels. I miss that. When she turned heel, we lost a lot of things. Not just the wacky inflatable men, but we lost tassels. There was a big reduction in tassels in the world of wrestling. But here we go. Look, all four men in there. £10 a podcast says, I'm going to speak about tassels tomorrow on coffee. Do it. Save the tassels, says Elder Sour. Push the tassels, says the Fortson. I'm all about that. If there's ever a team that comes along that's just literally head to toe in tassels. Oh, hello. We got some flossing going on. Medusa's out there. She's still out there. Giving the wild card. She's working for the NWA. Knew I loved that woman. Helping the NWA. Little bit of advice. Here we go. Against the ropes. Through the ropes goes Flip Gordan and Bandido. I wonder what Medusa said. I wonder. Bet she said, like, kick them in the nuts. Or something like that. Do you know what you should do? Kick them in the nuts. Great advice. Oh, Latimer going into Royce Isaacs. Yeah. Alondra still helping out. Why not? Why not? I want them to take a beating just for that floss dance. Yes. I mean, I've got to admit, I do like the occasional dance. I feel like there's definitely room for some dancing in the world of wrestling. But the floss, it hasn't aged very well. But you got to remember, this is 2019. They weren't to know that. It was on trend, you know. Had this have been the Crockett Cup from like 2017, they might have come out with like fidget spinners or something, you know. 2, shoulder up, shoulder up. Days, are you going to make a cake? No, I can. No, even if it was my own birthday, I wouldn't be making a cake. Days, do you remember when Medusa saw your reaction to her winning the 24/7 belt and loved it? I do. I do. That's like one of my favourite moments of my life. I loved her winning that 24/7 title. That was after this as well, wasn't it? Big strike by Latimer. Doing very, very well here. Great work by the wild card, considering how much they've had to do on the show so far. They are just absolutely stomping away on Flip Gordan. Bandido, desperate to get into the ring. Absolutely desperate to get in. A good old 450 splash. Here we go, got the legs, slamming it down. Hard onto the ring. And again, driving him. Good teamwork there. Driving him into the corner so that he can't make that tag to Bandido. So Flip Gordan absolutely in the wrong part of town right now. Absolutely in the wrong part of town. Tied up in the ropes. In a whole world of trouble. Yeah, Flip Gordan really in the wrong part of town. The Revival / Revolt have got a sexy new logo. I wonder if we would have seen them in the Crockett Cup. I mean, they just got released, didn't they? I don't know if they would have found a way to have brought them on the show. But, man, the Revival getting released so close to when... I mean, the Crockett Cup, I believe, would have been today. So, the Revival being released this close, I wonder if they'd have managed to have sorted something out, you know, to have got them there. Might have been a little short notice. Oh, look at that. Bandido was about to be tagged in, but Royce Isaacs, great work. 2, 3. Oh, they got it. Stole it. That was a great story as well, because Flip Gordan just could not get Bandido in. And almost about to do it, but great heel work, stopping Bandido from being tagged. Because you know if Bandido had been tagged then, they were going to be in big, big trouble. So really love the psychology of that match. Wow, and they progressed to the final? They're in the final? I don't know who wins this. They got a 50-50 shot now. So wild card in the final. They're either going to face the Briscoes or they're going to be facing Villian Enterprises, PCO and Brody King. So we're down to 3 teams. We're down to 3 teams. Isaacs and Latimer, 2 of the quickest victories. Watch it. Days will read it. It wasn't stolen, Days. The wild cards earned it. Are you allowed to pull one of your opponents off the apron when they're about to be tagged in? I'll agree with you. Hey, they've done brilliant. They've done brilliant. They're into the final. So will it be the Briscoes or the Villian Enterprises? They earned it, said £10 a podcast. James Chadwick says, I've seen this before and I can't remember who won. Nails and NY says they got a 33 1/3% chance of winning. There we go. Jim Cornette thanking Mr. Lagana for putting this thing together. Look, no waiting around. Absolutely no waiting around. We're now into this is a completely Ring of Honor match, isn't it? The Briscoes from Ring of Honor taking on PCO and Brody King from Ring of Honor. So we are guaranteed to have a Ring of Honor versus NWA final. So this is Ring of Honor versus Ring of Honor. Winner faces NWA. It's not cheating if you don't get caught. That is so true. You're absolutely right. More streamers getting thrown in. Okay, the Briscoes are already out there. And here comes Brody King. I think I'm gonna predict the Briscoes win this. I feel like it wasn't that long ago that we saw Villian Enterprises in action, and PCO, he's 52. Brody King, again, he could be a difference maker, but man, look at the Briscoes, so cool. I'm gonna lean towards the Briscoes on this one, but a very interesting matchup. Brody King, as we said, could be a difference maker. Look at the vicious elbows. Big chop as well to the midsection. Trading blows at the moment. Only appropriate that they align themselves with the national disgrace. The views of the chat are not always the views shared of the Wrestling Days channel. I'd just like to point that out. Days, this is my first time watching an NWA pay-per-view, and it's awesome, says Ben Russell. I'm really pleased to hear that, dude. I'm really pleased that you're enjoying it. I would say they're, and maybe I'm just being biased, but I would say they're even better now. Because the advantage that the NWA has got now is that it's really established itself. You know, we've had 20 weeks, longer than that actually, of watching Power and seeing some brilliant character development. And that really helps you feel like even closer and even more connected to the NWA superstars. Plus, add in the fact how vocal they are on social media. And the fact that, you know, there's a lot of interacting and a lot of, yeah, and like Thunder Rosa has got her own like live streams that you can talk to her on her channel. You've got Camille that's putting out her videos as well. And I mean, you've seen as well, Mr. Aldis has even joined us in the chat. I mean, the real world's champion. It forever. It will blow my mind that you know, Mr. Aldis has joined us here. I've seen Mr. Aldis has been in their chat. So has Thunder Rosa, the current women's champion. So, like, it's even, you feel even more connected to it now as a result of all of that. Plus now, I mean, like with this show, you know, there's a lot of superstars that got brought in. They brought in people from New Japan. They brought in people from Ring of Honor. They brought in people from CMLL. They could put this show on now with their own roster, with their own talent. And I think the crowd would have a better expectation of what they were watching. The crowd, obviously, here, this is, I would say this is quite a large Ring of Honor crowd, because there wasn't a Power episode, there wasn't a Power show for them to watch each week. The stories were being told through Ring of Honor. So I would say this is quite a predominant Ring of Honor crowd. It would be completely different with the Crockett Cup 2020. It'd be a predominant NWA crowd. So if you're loving this, I think you would have lost your mind for this year's show. We've honestly, it's so disappointing. We've been robbed. We've been robbed. What's up, Days? Sorry I'm late. I was watching the show, but I was on the phone to my uncle, but I'm here now. Shout out to you, buddy. Shout out to you. You've joined us at a great time. You've joined us at a great time. We've got the National Heavyweight Championship match coming up. Who I honestly don't even know who's... I think at this time, is it still Willie Mack that's the champion? So we've still got that to come. We've got Mr. Aldis taking on Marty Scurll, and we're going to have the final of the Crockett Cup once we know who's going to get there. But this match has been all over the place right now. They've been fighting on the outside. They're fighting in the ring. This is Ring of Honor versus Ring of Honor. Villian Enterprises taking on the Briscoes. Shout out to Wrestling Days fan. Mark Briscoe is fearless and terrifying at the same time, says the Dawn of Wrestling. Days, do you think any of the WWE releases could go to NWA? Honestly, I don't know what the financial situation is like for NWA. So I don't know if they've got money to spend at the moment. I just want the NWA to be able to continue giving us what they were giving us before. And if they are able to bring someone in, brilliant. And I got to be honest, I don't even mind who it would be. It makes no difference to me. I could see like Mike and Maria Kanellis being a good addition for NWA. It might sound weird, but Maria Kanellis, we have seen her competing. She was in like the Royal Rumble, and she, I think, competed at Evolution. So she can jump into the ring and do a couple of things, you know. She's competed in New Japan. She's been a big name in WWE. Plus, Mike Kanellis is someone that's a very good wrestler and could really find himself. Like those two being lovebirds. Could you imagine if they did a little storyline where it was, I don't know, May Valentine and Royce Isaacs taking on Mike and Maria Kanellis? Like, you could even do Thunder Rosa and Question Mark versus Mike and Maria Kanellis. So... this is what I'm saying. I think even like that, even if that doesn't sound like the most exciting thing in the world, within the NWA, it could actually work very well. It could actually work very well. So it doesn't necessarily even matter who it is they bring in, because a lot of that talent that got released, they were in WWE for a reason, because they're very good wrestlers. They're very good at what they do. They've already proven themselves on the indie scene. They'd already made a name for themselves, and that's why WWE picked them up in the first place. So any of those superstars coming into NWA would be an addition that would be worthwhile. But to be honest, I just would like them to carry on giving us what they were giving us. I'm not expecting a Rusev or anything like this, but as we said earlier, look at that drop kick through the ropes. As we said earlier, if there was any PCO from behind, there's no reason why you couldn't get a one-off Rusev appearance. Imagine Rusev versus Nick Aldis. Imagine that match. Imagine that match. That'd be insane. PCO chant from the crowd. Just a reminder, PCO is in his 50s. More May Valentine says £10 of podcast. May Valentine is tidy as hell. I don't actually know if May Valentine competes in the ring. I've never seen her compete in the ring. All I've seen her do is flirt with Sal Renaro. That's a story that I was enjoying. I thought that was an excellent story. That had Mandy and Otis vibes to it. Here we go. They're all down on the outside. Oh, big elbow drop onto Brody King. Chair getting thrown up into the air. This match has been brilliant. This is a proper semi-final match. Tell you what, a really good advert for Ring of Honor as well. This is a fight. This is a brawl. Oh, slammed onto the exposed for Brody King. Ah, big boot. This is good, man. Into the railings. Hard into the railings. PCO. Oh, no. Into the ring post goes PCO. I mean, these teams, I'd imagine these teams know each other so well. Mike and Maria would be good in Ring of Honor too. I'd love Revival versus the North in Impact. Here come the chairs. Yeah, we've got exposed floors. We've got chairs. It's absolute carnage. They're going under the ring again. Brody King's got a chair in his hands. This has stopped being wrestling now. I tell you what, the wild card have got to be looking at this, licking their lips. These two teams are just out to absolutely destroy each other. Yeah, all four men are in the ring. All four men have got chairs. If I was the ref, I'd just leave. Oh, no. Gets walloped by PCO. DQ. Briscoes just got DQ. They all have chairs. Oh, no. They've gone and got themselves DQ'd. I think the Briscoes are out. There we go. Let's get an official decision. Let them fight is the chant. Here we go. Who's in the fight? It's got to be the villain. Brody, there we go. Brody King. PC. Ah, the ref. The ref's getting battered. Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. The ref's down. I want to beat the ref up as well. How dare he disqualify the Briscoes? I thought the Briscoes were going to win this thing, you know. Honestly, I really thought they were going to win it. I thought they were going to win this match and win the thing. Oh, tell you what, now they got a chair. PCO's down. They're not done with the ref. PCO gets walloped with the chair. He's got the ref up. Boom! Ref goes down. This is great. One more time. One more time. One more time. Someone time days out. Well, there we go. Brody King and PCO progressing to the final where they're going to be taking on Wild Cards. PCO's just got chairs all over him. Oh, this isn't good. PC, no. Oh! Wow. Cannonball onto the chairs that were on his face and on his arm. Hell no. NWA, you want to do us like this? Oh, them boys are not happy. Hell no. You don't realise who the hell we are. They've looked great tonight, the Briscoes. They've looked absolutely brilliant. They don't look in great shape for the final, do they? Brody King and PCO as they're limping away. To hell with y'all. Them boys are not happy. I want PCO versus Aldis. I'd like that. The Briscoes have disrespected everyone in the building. We're down to the final 3 matches. Final 3 matches. We've got the final of the Crockett Cup. It's going to be Villian Enterprises versus Royce Isaacs and Thomas Latimer. We've got the heavyweight national championship. We've got the heavyweight championship as well. Here we go. Willie Mack, who I'm sure is the champ here, against Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana in action next. Right, here we go. Championship match. Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana. Straight to the action. No messing around. Right, we haven't done one yet. Should we try and do a like spike? Let's try and do a like spike. We're on 6-4-2 is what it's on. 6-4-2. Here we go. Like spike. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. I dropped it. Like spike. 6-4. 6-4-4. 6-4-4. I'm having them two. Them two are mine. 6-4-4. We've managed to increase it by 2. Still 2. Well, this hasn't gone well at all. This hasn't gone well at all. 3. I've got it up by 3. Oh, my God. We're up by 4. Oh, come on, people. A like spike of 5. 5. We increased it by 5. That's one of my worst. Oh, hang on. It's jumped up. I'm going to claim them 2 as well. 7. I'm claiming 7. I've had that. 7. Here comes Willie Mack. Like spike. I've had 7. I'm all right with that. I tried. 1 was me. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, insiders. Hope you are well. Dave's just saying, when PCO isn't wrestling, surely he's wearing a wig. He can't be going around with half of his head shaved. I honestly would not be surprised if he did. I would not be surprised if he went around with half of his head shaved. Right, here we go. Colt Cabana versus Willie Mack for the National Championship. Ric Flair was indeed in the stream. Woo! I love my man, Colt Cabana. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Willie Mack versus Colt Cabana. This should be a really good match, actually. As we said, there's only 3 matches. Amazingly, we've been watching this show for like 2 hours, nearly 2.5 hours. I think we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. It's really not felt that way. It's really not felt that way at all. But we're down to the final 3. There's only 3 matches left. We got this match. We got the final of the Crockett Cup. And then, of course, we've got Mr. Aldis versus Marty Scurll. The match that we were going to be enjoying this year as well, but was robbed. Robbed, I tell you. Hopefully we do get it when things get up and running again. But massive, massive shout out to the NWA because what a fun Sunday night this has been. Just watching, lots of different stars. Japanese stars, Mexican stars, Ring of Honor stars. Medusa. I wonder what Medusa said to the wall. Wonder what she actually said. Did we ever find out? Do we ever find out what was actually said? On PCO's YouTube, he removes nails from wood with his teeth and electrocutes himself. His hair is the least of his worries. I've never seen PCO's YouTube. I've never seen PCO's YouTube. I definitely should watch it. Great time tonight. Thank you, NWA and Days. Shout out to you, £10 of podcast. Really looking forward to £10 podcast on Tuesday because, of course, there's going to be so much for them to be talking about because Camille's first match. Camille is going to speak. There's a lot of stuff to go through. If you are watching this channel, our channel, and you're new as well, make sure you subscribe. Join us. Why not? Something to do in it. Oh, Willie Mack into the corner. Colt Cabana moved out the way. Willie Mack just went flying to the outside. Wow, he went out hard. He went out hard. I don't even know if he meant to do that. That might have been completely mistimed. I tell you what, I would love it if NWA got to the point where we were getting action figures. I'd love that ring. Nice blue ring with the NWA in the middle. And then you could get like a nice Nick Aldis with the £10 of gold. Thunder Rosa. I think Thunder Rosa's had her own figures made that you can get from her shop. So, yeah, man, like, that would be awesome. Imagine an Aaron Stevens with the national championship and a little question mark figure as well. So many of their stars are like, would look brilliant in figure form. I'd love that. I think we've got a little way to go until we get to that. But, dream big. That's what I say. Dream big. London Askew. Shout out to you, buddy. £10 a podcast says 20-year plan. Have you ordered Elite 77? I haven't actually, no. I don't even know where I can order it from apart from Ringside Collectibles. Maybe Wrestling Shop have got it up. I don't know. I haven't looked. I still haven't sorted out the Wendy Richter that I keep banging on about. I feel like I've spoken about that Wendy Richter so much. That Wendy Richter figure, and I still haven't sorted it. One day. Willie Mack's in a lot of trouble here. He went hard to the outside, and he hasn't quite recovered from it. Against the ropes goes Willie Mack. Duck underneath. Here we go. Nice double knees. Nice double knees. Days loves NWA. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Need a question mark figure. Bought the Mongrovian pin last week. That's how this started, actually. We got the little advert of question mark showing us that Mongrovian pin. Oh yeah, I'm a massive NWA fan. I think what they've done has been so refreshing. It's just so great to watch wrestling that's just fun. Do you know what I mean? It's genuinely, like, the comedy segments are fun and funny. The ad breaks are so out there that it's just totally appeals to my sense of humour. But then you get great wrestling. I mean, look at the matches between, like, Mr. Aldis and Mr. Storm. You know, Tim Storm, Nick Aldis. Those matches have been brilliant. The Allysin K Thunder Rosa matches have been brilliant. They introduced the TV title, the Lucky 7 rule. That's been very interesting. We've seen new stars emerge like Zicky Dice, Ricky Starks. So they've been bringing talent through as well. So I just think they've achieved all of that in 20 episodes. 20 episodes. It's kind of mind-blowing what they've been able to do in such a short space of time. So, yeah, it's been a really enjoyable journey. And we keep saying it as well, but, like, if you're watching this now, yeah, or you're watching the NWA now, you are a part of, like, the beginning. This is still the start. Could you imagine watching WWE, the first 20 episodes of, you know, their, like, Raw or Tuesday Night Titans, or, do you know what I mean? One of their shows. I don't even know how many episodes of Raw there's been now, but I know it's been going since 1993. And that gives you some idea of where the NWA could go. You know, we're up to episode 21 of Power. So if you're watching it now, you are very much at the beginning. There'll come a point where you just won't be able to watch all of the episodes because there'll be too many. It's like, could you imagine trying to watch all of Raw now? I don't even know if you could do it. But with Power, you've only got 20 episodes to go back through and watch. That's a great day. Imagine that day. Imagine if you'd never seen Power and you just put a day aside. Everyone should do it. There should be an NWA day where you just binge watch. Why don't they do that? Why don't they do a stream where they literally have every episode of Power just running constantly? I think we spoke about this before. Just do one big Power stream. Even if you just do 10 episodes, the first 10 episodes, and it just goes one after the other. You can just sit there, put it on, and just watch it run straight the way through. Be brilliant. I'd be tempted to watch that again. Virginia Bruner. Virginia, thank you very much, my friend. My grandson, London Askew, wants you to have this. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm going to put a thank you at the bottom to London Askew. Thank you, London Askew. There we go. Look, a little thank you at the bottom of the screen to your grandson. So shout out to Virginia. Shout out to London Askew. Really, really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. How cool is that? Your grandson is a treasure. Oh, here we go. Look, NWA lurking in the shadows. Hello. You might have to do a 24-hour Power binge watch with us. Well, I'll do you a deal. If you do it, I'll do it. How about that? We've got a new champion here. Man, could you imagine that? A 24-hour Power binge. Could I even do it? I don't even know if I could do it. I'd do it. I'd give it a go. That'd be immense, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Everyone in South Isolate and you have NWA Power Day. Tell you what, some big ideas being dropped right now. If I had a microphone, I'd drop it. I think I have got one somewhere. I can't be bothered to find it. That's the problem. Well done, Colt Cabana, though. Colt Cabana. We probably should have been paying more attention. You and Zicky Dice. Let's do it. That sounds outlandish. Oh! I'm there for that whole binge, says £10 a podcast. Aldis says yes. Insider says that would be outlandish. Don't steal my jokes, please. Nathan says, hey, NWA. You can do it. Days, 24 streams is what we all want. And then NWA on top of that. Fortson says that would be a great idea. Days, 24 streams is what we all want. Oh, hello, James Storm. James Storm's here as well. I don't even know how we got onto that subject, but we got onto that subject. NWA chat is crazy. How great is this? I mean, we're used to seeing him now, but this would have been like a really big moment, 2019, of James Storm. They've done a great job of dropping people all throughout this show. But there we go. Well done. We've only got... Oh, man, there's only a couple of matches left. Days, do you think when the NWA gets a lot bigger, do you think they will change arenas for their weekly shows? Well, I would, to be honest, I would hope not. I would hope not. I think that I think the Power Studio is something that really brings a lot of... It's different. It's different. It brings interest, you know. There's no one else that looks like that. And I think if they start going to arenas, then you run the risk of starting to look like every other show. So I would keep the weekly shows in Power. I mean, you could tour. I think there's a big enough fan base to do a tour. That would be something for the future. And you could maybe film a few segments from the tour, but home is that Power Studio. That's home, isn't it? Zicky interview is going to premiere. Oh, yes, you interviewed Zicky, didn't you? After the 24-hour stream, Days will look like Zicky Dice. Outlandish! Yeah. We don't have fanny packs. We call them bum bags. So I'm going to have a £16,000 bum bag. Not a $16,000 fanny pack. Mine's going to be a £16,000 bum bag. Eric Haberman says, Days, check. Days, Dan Mather's Twitter was in a car accident. I saw that. It happened a little while ago. I think he said that it was before he got released, unfortunately. Okay, here we go. Look, James Storm saying they can't shut me up. I'm going to try and take that. Is this now? What's happening? Man to man. Next time I see you, please be ready. Sorry about your damn luck. There we go. So, James Storm issuing a warning to Colt Cabana. Bum bags. Yeah, that's what we call them. Bum bag pop. Yeah, they're called bum bags. Hey, look, you call them fanny packs. Yeah? So you can't come around judging. We call them bum bags. They've always been known as bum bags. You keep your fannies in your packs. We keep our bums in our bags. I don't see what the issue is. There's some big stuff being found out on this stream tonight. Some big reveals. Right, we got 2 matches left. 2 matches left. We got the conclusion of the Crockett Cup. Someone is winning that tournament. We've been watching it all night long. So someone's winning that tournament, and then we've got £10 of gold on the line. In fact, I think the tournament conclusion is now either that or someone's robbing the belts and the trophy. I don't know what's happening. Do they work for the NWA? I hope so. Such talk puts Daze's fans at risk. Daze, at the moment, do you think the NWA has got a big fan base to tour around the UK? I think they could do a one-off show down in London. I think that would work for them. But I'm not privy to their analytics, so I don't know where the views are coming from when it comes to YouTube, so I honestly don't know. The thing is, as well, I mean, like, there might not be many people. I don't know. I mean, it airs at 6 o'clock, doesn't it? That's 11 o'clock at night here in the UK. That's actually not that bad. If you think that Raw and SmackDown air at like 1 in the morning, this airs at 11, and the Crockett family are there. The Crockett family, how amazing! But of course, it's all on YouTube, so you can watch it whenever. So I honestly could not tell you what it was like. There's Mr. Corgan as well. There's the Crockett family. John says, Daze, what's your all-time favourite match in any company? That's a great question, John. When it comes to WWE, I think about Shawn Michaels' Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. Genuinely regard that as one of the best matches I've ever seen. Because of the streak being on the line and Shawn Michaels being one of my favourites. Undertaker, one of my favourites as well. I do like the Okada Omega matches. I know that Omega maybe hasn't quite been at that same standard in AEW, but then he's been doing a lot of tag work. So, but those matches I thought were brilliant. Obviously, you've got Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. I think a lot of people would talk about those matches. You've got... Here's Nikita! Nikita! Insiders did an interview with Nikita Koloff the other day. If you've not heard that interview, you have got to check it out. You have got to check it out. Nikita Koloff comes across like the nicest guy in the world. Like, he was just chatting and talking and sharing stories, and he just came across like so nice. I mean, look at him here, just hugging and big smile on his face. That's how he comes across in the interview. Comes across like the nicest guy in the world. You Insiders Wrestling Podcast did an incredible interview with Nikita Koloff, and it was so good. So good. Nikita Koloff, I believe, was in that tournament in 1986. He does look great. He looks like he can still go. If PCO is still going, Nikita Koloff can go. What a legend. No, he's got one of the Crockett Cup pins on as well. The Russian Nightmare. So good. Can't wait for part 2 with a special guest. He told some great stories. He really did. We're standing in the Stinson house. Shout out to Robert Stinson. Had a lot of fun over on their channel. We watched a music video from Robert Zombie. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I think he's a well-known actor from The Walking Dead. It's been a great journey entertaining wrestling fans. This is so cool. That's a big takeaway from this show for me. As I said, how they've dropped in legends all throughout the show. the Midnight Express, Medusa, Nikita Koloff. Fate Ross Fate says he actually won the cup in '87 with Dusty. I don't know who's ever. I only just found out earlier in this stream that you can watch it on the WWE Network. Oh, he's got another friend. Who? He inspired him. Magnum TA. Yeah. Magnum TA. So, Magnum TA, here he is, look. One of the best. He would have been one of the biggest names. In full fairness, he still is. So big that he's... Magnum dropped Dusty Rhodes off and then lost control of his car. And as Jim Cornette said, that changed the course of wrestling history. He would have been a household name. He was still big enough to get a figure from Mattel. Mattel have made a Magnum TA action figure. This is great. Fate Ross Fate, thank you for that information. Really appreciate. I don't know who wins the '86. Don't tell me. I'm definitely watching that show. I wonder if the '87 one's on there as well. So Magnum TA saying that he competed in that first one, lost out to the Road Warriors. This feels big, doesn't it? Feels big. Having Nikita Koloff and Magnum TA, and again, they're doing a great job of just building up to that final. What? Wait, Days. Do you put a bum statue in your bag? No, Chalmers, you put a picture of you in it. Oh! Joking. This is great. He says it gives him chills thinking about the reaction that he got from those fans. There you go. He says he can't wait to see the conclusion of this tournament. And of course, it is the final coming up. Special ringside seats. So here we go. This is going to be Wild Card taking on Villian Enterprises. I just asked a simple question. I thought... Hello, Jennifer Lockhart. Hope you are well. So here we go. Villian Enterprises versus Royce Isaacs, Thomas Latimer. This is like their fourth time being in the ring. And just showing how both teams got here. Great to see Magnum TA. Great to see Nikita. Again, I know I've said it before, but if you haven't seen that or heard that interview with the Insiders, check it out. It was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He used to be the national treasure, then he joined the dark side. Oh, they were really angry, the Briscoes. A snot rocket. Okay. Oh, Medusa again. Oh, she definitely should be their manager. Medusa making her way down. She looks great in that outfit as well. So there we go. The winners. Will get the Crockett Cup and the Tag Team Championships. So whatever Medusa said to them before paid off in a big way. According to Joe Galli, I don't know what she said. Win. Win. Make sure you win. Here comes a very beaten up PCO and Brody King. Very, very beaten up. PCO, yeah, worse for wear here. Royce with the shooter boots on. Right, here we go. I don't think this match is going to go long. I mean, these guys have already wrestled a ton tonight. Already Brody King and PCO are coming in beaten up, so I think obviously both teams are going to give it their all. But yeah, I can't see this being a 20-minute classic or anything like that. I think this is going to be short and sweet. Crockett Cup trending in the US. So this is the final. All night long it's been building to this. I wonder who would have won it this year. I wonder who would have won it. I wonder if there'd have been any surprises. There was a few mentions and rumours about the Ascension, about whether the Ascension were going to be included. I wonder if AEW would have provided a team. I wonder if New Japan would have provided a team. Big strike by Brody King in there right now with Royce Isaacs. PCO on the outside. Brody King having to do a lot of the heavy lifting now. I think PCO's age might... although saying that, he still looks all right. Brody King against the ropes. Bangs into Latimer. Nice uppercut to Royce Isaacs. Big chop. Latimer comes in. He gets chopped as well. This is the final. This is for the Crockett Cup. I honestly thought the Briscoes were going to win this. Days, in the future, on the Wrestling Escape Pod, is it possible that Tommy and yourself do a podcast telling us your top 10 favourite matches and why? It is possible. It is possible. We tend to vote on forthcoming episodes, though, so I know that this Friday it's going to be worst results ever. And then the week after it'll be funniest moments. So we'll have to look to put that into a future poll. Right, Brody King into the railings. Days, PCO is fooling you. He is going to kill everyone. It's very true. He could be playing possum. All he needs is a shot of electricity. Just needs to get back to full charge. You're right, PCO could be fooling us. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Medusa was a very good manager. Very good manager. So she could have some really good advice here for Wildcard. Big boot by Royce Isaacs. Brody King down. It's going to be very interesting if when he makes that tag and PCO comes in, then we'll know if he's playing possum or not. Is he going to clean house? Or is the energy levels just a little bit too low? Oh, big strike. Nice. Headlock. Nice work so far by Wildcard. Brody King in a bit of trouble here. Needs to make a tag. They've still got nearly 1,700 people watching this show, which is absolutely brilliant. It's getting the attention that it deserves. As we said, very unusual for this to take place on a Sunday. But this is when we would have had Crockett Cup 2020. Here we go into the corner. Oh! Into the ring post. Up. Oh, this is good work by Brody King. Good work by Brody King. This match a few months later, Villian Enterprises, Strictly Business. Here we go. Look, PCO screaming for Brody. PCO having to pick up his arm so that he can make the tag. This is what I'm saying. This is going to be quite interesting. What's going to happen there? The tag's been made. Oh, he's in pain. He doesn't seem to be pretending. Fix my arm. He says, fix my arm. Oh, is it out? Is it out? He wants him to put it back into a socket. He says, fix my arm. Has he got to put it back into the shoulder? Ah! He's relocated the dislocated shoulder. A scream from PCO. Big clothesline. He's fired up now. He's fired up now. Oh, big clotheslines. This isn't looking great for Wildcard. PCO champ from the crowd. He is a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun. Brody. Oh, it's got... Oh, plants Royce Isaacs. Michinoku driver. Boom. Sidewalk slam. PCO going up top. What's he going for? A moonsault. He's going for a moonsault. Ah! Moonsault by PCO. 2. They won! No way! PCO is a former NWA World Tag Champ. I had no idea. I thought the Briscoes were going to win. They got eliminated. Then I honestly thought that because Wildcard were champs. When Power started, Wildcard were champs. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is how Wildcard get the belts. Wow. PCO? Mind blown. When do they drop them titles back then? When do they lose them to Wildcard? It's amazing. There we go. There's the Crockett Cup trophy. Incredible. PCO. I had no idea. So a Ring of Honor tag team won the end. It goes against everything in my brain. Honestly thought that Wildcard were going to win that because they are the NWA team. They obviously go on to become the NWA tag team champs. So you look at it and you go, well, it's a no-brainer. They win this final. No way. That has blown my mind. That has absolutely blown my mind. Wow, prepare to have your mind blown again. Marty Scurll versus Nick Aldis. A match that we thought we were going to be seeing this year. We thankfully did see last year. And we can enjoy all over again. Mr. Nick Aldis versus Marty Scurll. This is the main event. This is for the £10 of gold. Again, Ring of Honor versus NWA. Man, what a final. I knew it wasn't going to last that long. But I wasn't expecting that moonsault, and I wasn't expecting that team to win. Lot of fun. Lot of fun. Mr. Aldis says, strap in. Strap in, I'm ready. I am ready. This is going to be next level stuff, my friends. This is going to be next level stuff. These two have known each other for so long. They're going to know every trick in the book. They're going to know what the other person is thinking before they've even started thinking it. So this is going to make for a very, very tasty match. Two of the best. Two of the best right now. And Camille. The insurance policy. All for that £10 of gold. And as we said, if you go back to 1986, the £10 of gold was defended at that show as well. Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes. Fast forward all these years later, we get the Crockett Cup again. And now it is Marty versus Nick. Very tasty stuff. We're just seeing the build. Obviously, we saw all of this build on Tuesday as well. Logan says, here we go. Very excited. So you should be. Look, there's Marty holding the £10. Would that have been the case this year? Very, very exciting stuff. This is our main event. Sure to get a very tasty entrance as well by Marty. All the lights have gone out. Here we go. Look, look. You can see the excitement in the crowd. All the fans have got their phones up. They're showing the Marty banner. Big Vape Ross Days. I just tweeted you a pic of me at the cup. Amazing. I will have a look at that after. Here comes the villain. it's such great ring attire. Such great ring attire. As Mr. Aldis said in the build for this, though, you can keep your hats and your umbrellas and your wings. It's all about what happens in the ring. Yeah, can he fight and win against a friend? They've trained together. Crowd are really pumped for this. Really pumped for this. Hello, Jamesy. Shout out to you. Elder Sour says this was match of the year. I feel like I've seen bits of this match. I don't think I've seen all of this match. 10 pounds a podcast says gimmick versus the real world's champ. He's got to have a plan. Well, his plan's going to be to win, innit? There we go. That's all the plan he needs. Camille on the outside. Love that jacket. So classy. Marty in the ring. A real mixed response. I think that's very reflective of this being a very split crowd. I think there's definitely NWA fans in the crowd. It's going to have been NWA fans that had been following the 10 pounds of gold series. It's going to be fans of Mr. Aldis and fans of that championship and the history that comes with that. But there's no denying that a lot of this build was done on Ring of Honor, and there's going to be a lot of fans of Marty, a lot of fans of Ring of Honor. So it's going to be a very split crowd, a very interesting atmosphere. A red-hot atmosphere. Everyone on their feet. And this is the main event. And all I've ever heard about this match is great stuff. Here we go. NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Aldis says, I stand with Aldis. Here we go. There's a lot of hashtag I stand with Aldis. There we go. Let me know. Do you stand with Aldis or do you stand with Marty? Camille knocking the umbrella out of the way. Big Marty chant. I'm telling you, it's a Ring of Honor. Maybe it's more Ring of Honor than anything else, this crowd. I think what 10 Pounds Podcast just said there was bang on the money. This is hostile territory. I thought that it would be a bit more split. Let's see the reaction. The National Treasure. Yeah, it's a mixture, but there's definitely booze. But there is a mixture there. I think it's fair to say hostile territory. Whoa, this is good, isn't it? This is good, isn't it? NWA really has recaptured that feeling of a big time prize fight. Yep. I love this. The referee saying, I spoke to you in your dressing rooms. I love his big badge that he's got on. It looks like it's his birthday. I love everything about this. I think this is like so iconic. They use this as the thumbnail for tonight's show. There we go. Tommy Young. is the referee. He refereed more championship matches, NWA championship matches, than anyone on the planet. I mean, he looks like a goat, doesn't he? He looks like a legend. I'm getting goat vibes from the ref. Look at this, face to face. And Marty looking at this hand, thinking, do I trust it? Do I trust it? I don't think I trust it. Oh, nice. That's what the kids do these days. Fair play. There we go. Boom. Fist bump. And there it is. The £10 of gold. I don't think Tommy Young will be taking any bumps. No, probably not. There we go. Bell has sounded. This is our final match of the evening. I hope you've really enjoyed the Crockett Cup up to this point. I know I have. There's been some surprises. There's been loads of legends. There's been some great matches. We find ourselves now at the main event. Marty versus Nick. £10 of gold on the line. A lot of trash talking going on between the two of them. We got Camille on the outside. Those big banners that have been there throughout the whole show as well. Really building up the excitement for this main event. Obviously, we saw the backstory on Tuesday as well, so we know what led to all of this. And here we go. We are underway. Yeah, Nick Aldis getting the early advantage, but some lovely reversals by Marty. Nice! Takes Nick down. I'm working on the arm already. Oh, working on that arm. Wrist lock. Nice. Little shout out for Royce Gracie. Nice. The reversals here are so crisp. Just back and forth stuff. Again, you know, the story is that they know each other so well. So well. Marty will know how to get out of this. Here we go. Look at the spin. Oh. Into the corner. Through the legs. Gets taken down. Ankle lock. No. Into a headlock. Oh. How did he do that? He was in a position where it was going to be an ankle lock, and before you know it, he's reversed it into a headlock. Nice. Is the ref going to throw her away? Look, Camille's like, I didn't touch him. You're out of there. No way. That is so clever. Yeah, Marty playing some mind games. Nice, 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 nice. Oh. Look at this. This is good, man. Dace is in love with the NWA. I'm one of its biggest cheerleaders. Here we go. Look, Marty going back. Big chop by Marty. Look, the chop's coming in. Nick Aldis getting driven back. He's getting beaten back to the ring. He's going to have to do this on his own now. Are they saying that? In all fairness, we haven't seen Camille getting involved that much in like the previous events to this. So here we go, into the corner. Big boot. Big boot by Nick. He's got Marty up. Fall away slam. Again, nice. German. Big club across the back. So the little intricate bits of wrestling now, we've moved away from that. There's more bigger moments here as Marty's getting hurled into the corner hard. You can see that Nick is angry at Camille being removed from ringside. So we've kind of moved past the intricate moments. There's big clotheslines now. Down goes Marty. A lot of anger. Here we go. Up on the top. Marty Scurll on the top. Yeah, that's ticked him off. Oh, from the middle rope. Look at that. Marty getting hurled across the ring. Air Aldis. That's what we just had. We just had Air Aldis. 1, 2, foot on the rope. Yeah, it's in the rules. It's all right. Some of my favourite moments have been when people have just managed to get their foot on the rope. I think, was it like Seth Rollins versus Neville? Had a great example of that. Big chop by Marty. Someone's got a sign, but I can't quite see what it says. It's literally the smallest sign I've ever seen. Someone's got a little sign like this. I feel like they definitely could have put more effort into their sign making. Breaking the count. Boom. Onto the edge of the ring. It's all Nick Aldis right now. Camille's presence at ringside is usually more than enough. That's why she doesn't need to interfere, says Sean. It's a really good point. Here we go, look, table now, gotta be careful. Although saying that, does he have to be careful if he gets DQ'd? What does he care? Choke slam! Oh! Through the table! What's the ref gonna do with that? Look at the swag. We've got a bit of Conor McGregor going on. This is where the power lies. Choke slam through a table. Oh, he goes hard as well. Marty chants from the crowd. Would have been so interesting to have compared this match with what we would have got this show. Because as I said, I think what with the success of Power every Tuesday on the NWA YouTube channel for free, what with the success of that show, I think you would have seen a different crowd. I think you would have seen an NWA crowd. Hey, is Orange Santa there? I haven't even hey, how bad is that? That's how much self-isolating has got to me. This is the first time I'm mentioning Orange Santa. And we've been streaming for 3.5 hours. He's got to be there. Who in the chat was there? Let me know if you was there. I don't know if Orange Santa was there. I don't know if was Mr. Rotella, was you there? Mr. Fortson, was you there? Dorna Wrestling, was you there? Who was there? Bask in his glory. Don't listen to the crowd. Here we go. Scurll. Oh. Knee into the midsection. Still, so many people watching this. It's been amazing to see so many people sticking around throughout this whole show. It shows how great it is. They haven't seen a drop-off. You know, like with shows, you tend to get like a drop-off. Not with this. They're still at like nearly 1,700 people watching. Shows the quality of the main event. Aldis has been on Marty like a cheap suit. Nice line. Dorna Wrestling says, I was there. Dawn was in the front row. There we go. Keep an eye out for Dawn of Wrestling. Fortson said, I wish I had. Orange Santa alert. I don't know if he's there. Yeah, his prey. That again. I do like the commentators. I think the commentators have done a really good job tonight. Oh my God! Did you see that right hand? Man, these strikes are brutal, and I love how Marty's like... Those strikes were crisp. Beautiful. That was great. Those strikes were great. Oh, and he spits at him! The villain spits at Marty. Here we go, reverse into a headlock. Up, looking for a DDT. Spikes him. Marty having to dig deep already. Yeah, Aldis 1 second throwing bombs. Next second getting spiked. Great match. Great match so far. Back and forth. Spitting should be removed. Big strike again. Back and forth though. Marty throwing a bomb back. Boom. Big slap. Duck underneath. Big chop. Forearm strike. Chop again. Another forearm. Chop some forearms. That's... Oh, look at these boots. Look at these boots. He's trying to break it up, but he's not doing a very good job of it. Nick Aldis down. This crowd are fired up. This crowd definitely want to see Marty get this done. Over the top. Kick. Nice kick on the outside. Marty takes a moment. Skinning the cat. Against the ropes. Suicide dive. Look at the crowd reaction to that. In Crockett Country. Welcome to Crockett Country. Big chop by Marty. Everyone loves a good riot. Okay, there's just a moment here where Nick's just trying to regroup. Trying to walk away. Marty, though, stalking after him. We got a bit of blood here. Hello. We got a bit of colour. Oh. And again, big strike by Marty. Chop by Marty. Big right hands coming in. Oh, and again. Here we go. We got a crimson mask. The crimson mask. I didn't see how he did it. In all fair. Oh, man. There's a lot of blood now. That's really opened up. What's this? 619. 619! 619! 619 by Marty Aldis. Backed into the corner. Nick Aldis is going to have to dig so deep here. Look at the blood. Look at the blood. Oh, reversed. Nice. Small package. 1, 2. Oh. Has to cover up. Love the fake out. Love the fake out. Takes the legs down. Marty looking for a figure four. Figure four leg lock, middle of the ring. Figure four. Oh, look at the blood. That is a lot of blood as well. That's just not a splash. That's not a dribble. That's like all down the body and everything. It's all over Marty as well. You can see it on the ring. High drama at the end of the Crockett Cup. Aldis trying to reverse that pressure. Can't do it. Gets over to the ropes, desperately trying to get over. Yeah, he can lose this title, not only by submission, but if he keeps his shoulders down, the referee's going to be counting that 3. We actually saw it recently in, I think, WWE, where someone lost in a figure 4, but they didn't submit. They actually got pinned. It's very unusual to see it, but it... Oh, big chop. Look at this. I don't feel like I've seen this as an image. Perhaps it's too brutal. It looks nasty. Against the ropes goes Marty. Up. Pile driver, tombstone. Oh! I tell you, it's Nick Aldis like the Undertaker in disguise. We've seen a tombstone. We've seen a choke slam. That makes Camille the modern day pallbearer. Oh! Elbow drop. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up. Oh. High drama. Dawn of Wrestling says, I've seen this 3 times and I'm on my feet. This can't go much longer. He's losing too much blood. Big chop. Against the ropes goes Marty. Up. Ah! Michinoku. Michinoku driver off the ropes. Just grabs that bottom rope. So good. Here we go, look, Nick climbing up top. High risk, but could be high reward. Yeah, that blood probably obscuring his vision. Big strike by Marty. And again, I love blood, says Dat King. Wow, you must be loving this match so far. Because it's got plenty of it. Strikes to the midsection. Big strike to the head. And again. One more for good luck. Marty goes down. Here we go. Oh, he just can't. Look, he can't. He can't. Yeah, he's out on the top. He's desperately trying to stand. Equilibrium's all gone in it. Marty pops up like a Pop-Tart. Right onto the top, looking for a superplex. Got him in position. Oh, middle of the ring. Superplex for the villain. 1, 2. Oh, there was no messing around on that count. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up, baby. It's like, come on. Come on, you sure that wasn't a 3? Look at the blood. Look at the drama. So good. Big right hands. We're back to some strikes. Was that a rake of the eyes from the champ? Caught him. Got him up. Power bomb. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Oh, high drama. Ah, look at this. Working on the knee. Working on the knee. No, he's got the arm. He's got the arm. He's got his fingers. Joint manipulation. Ah! Oh, that's the last thing he needed right now. Man, look at this. He's got blood pouring down his face. Now he got... It's so brutal. The footage is all black and white, and we keep switching black and white. We switch into colour. There's blood on the body of Marty. Oh! Gets caught! Gets caught! reverse dragon. 1, 2. Against the ropes, big clothesline. Nick Aldis against the ropes. Marty against the ropes again. Nick moves out the way. The ref goes down. The ref goes down. The ref is out. Look at these scenes. Knees get taken away. Insecurity, but there's no referee. Where's Toby Young? Ah, Camille! Camille! Is this about to backfire on Marty? In fairness, Marty brought this on himself. He totally brought this on himself. No! Marty says no! Nick says no! I was going to help you out. Look at this. Wow. And the crowd really appreciate this. Look, the crowd applauding. What a moment. Blood pouring down his face. Oh no, low blow! He got caught with a low blow! Low blow! The villain! Double underhook! Planted! Oh, middle of the ring! 2! Oh, shoulder up! Shoulder up! The national treasure survives! Oh, what storytelling, what drama. Camille comes running down, tries to help win it. Nick won't allow it. Marty, low blow. Middle of the ring. Incredible scenes. Incredible scenes. Big chop. Against the ropes. Reversed. Over the top. Flip over the top. Hook in the leg. Hook in the leg. 1, 2. Oh! Marty sizing him up. Uppercut. Still blood pouring down. Blood's been pouring for quite a while. Round the back. Chicken wing. Chicken wing. Man, you don't see chicken wings all that often. I got flashes of Bob Backlund. Oh, he's fading. He's properly fading. He's fading. Insider says this is insane. Yeah, look, you can see he's still got some feeling in his hand, but it's fading. Oh, he's trying to get up. Roll through. 1, 2. Duh! Wow. This is like a proper star-making performance. Yeah, he's got impact. He's got impact. No, he couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Reversed. Roll through. Grabbing the legs. Cloverleaf. Trying to turn it. Oh, he's got the hands again. Look at the blood. There's blood all over the ring. It's been a massacre. That's right. Ah! He's got the cloverleaf. Look at this. Middle of the ring. Oh, look at that shot. Look at that shot. Look at Nick Aldis. Blood all over his face with a cloverleaf on Marty, and now cinches it in. He's got a tap. There's no... Oh, there it is. Just... Oh. What a match. What a match. Even the ref just... There's blood blood all over the both of them. They're just like, testify. What an incredible performance that was. What an incredible performance that was. If you loved this, please hit the like button, says NWA. Not on this, on theirs. I think I've broken the like button on there. Absolute scenes. Absolute scenes. What would we have seen this year? What would we have seen this year? Look, Marty. I think that match was 20 odd minutes. It felt like 2. There was just so much that went on. There were so many different stages to it. And then you've got the added drama of Camille and the blood. I think the blood really added a lot to that match. Really added a lot. That was fantastic, says Nails. Yeah. NWA. Thank you, NWA. Preach it. Testify it. Shout it from the rooftops. There's so many people that just don't know. Do you know what I mean? And they would have known. They would have known this year. They would have known. NWA is bigger now than it was even then. And look what we were getting then. This was all before. This was all before Power. Power has taken them to that next level. There's no denying that this year's event would have been bigger. There's no denying that. Would have been a bigger show. And we would have got that match again. Got in. I hope we still get it. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. That was absolutely incredible. Fireworks. There's fireworks going off. There's people saying thank you, NWA. That was great. What a match. I mean, Aldis said a match of the year contender, and no denying that. No denying that. Marty jumping into the ring. He looks crestfallen. But there's such respect between these two. The journey that they've both been on, you know. They've walked a similar path, but they've gone in different directions in many ways. But the fact they were able to come together here and put on a match like that, I mean, like, to have that kind of chemistry is quite rare. Oh, we were robbed, man. We would have got it again. We would have got it again. You're the man that took me under your wing. You can hear a pin drop in that room. You helped me become the man I am today. Look at that. You can still see the blood all over his face, and the blood's still all over Marty as well. There's blood everywhere. Blood, sweat. Not quite tears. It was. It was, Marty. It was. That was awesome, is the chant from the crowd. It was awesome. This is such a special moment. It's a real special moment for, like, British wrestling as well. Just to see these two, to see the match that they've put on that stage. And then, you know, to have this moment where There's real acknowledgement between them and everything, you know. It's.
But unfortunately tonight, unfortunately for you, the better man won. Congratulations.
I would say that's a really important match in the history of British wrestling. Straight up. To see two British wrestlers headlining an NWA show like this, and not just any NWA show, the Crockett Cup, and to put on a match of that quality. I mean, it would be a big moment in the British history of British wrestling anyway, but for it to be that good. Hello, everyone that's joining us. Jacoby says, I'm losing internet. Shout out to you, Jennifer. Shout out to Mickey James. Shout out to Mr. Aldis.
A lot of people laughed at when we first started it, called the National Wrestling Alliance Rebirth.
They're talking about the rebirth of the NWA. I mean, like, honestly, I don't even think they would have known how great it would have gone on to have become. Even standing there, I don't think Nick could have quite appreciated how successful Power would have gone on to have been. Real show of respect. There we go. Thank you all for your support. We hope to see you all again. Well, it would have been this year, wouldn't it? It would have been tonight. We were robbed. There we go. What can you say? What can you say about that? What a show. The only thing I can say is I think there's going to be a lot of people. I'd seen elements of the show. I hadn't seen the main event. And I hadn't seen who won, but I'd seen some of those first early round matches. And that, I just can't even think of a better way to spend a Sunday night. I really can't. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That was so good, says Nails and NY. No one will be laughing in the future, says £10 of gold. NWA says, thank you, everyone, for watching with us. NWA, thank you for that. It was incredible. Nick Aldis respects the championship more than any heavyweight champion in the business. Thank you, NWA. Thank you, Mr. Aldis. Says £10 a podcast. The Insider says, thank you, NWA. They score that match out of 5. 10. Yeah, incredible. Well, I don't know what you say about it. There's nothing that needs to be said, is there? The match does all the talking for us, so you don't need to sit here and say anything. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Wrestling Days fan said, great stream. I really enjoy it. Yeah, everyone that joined us, thank you so much. You do important work, Days. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you to everyone that joined us. It was. As I said, thank you, Nick, Mr. Aldis in the chat. Shout out to you. It's incredible. It blows my mind. It genuinely blows my mind. Just being, a wrestling fan in this day and age, with the fact that you can sit down and just watch. I mean, watch that kind of entertainment for free on YouTube, and even have like Mr. Aldis joining us. And I saw people saying that Mickey James may have been with us earlier, which I didn't see at the time because I was a little distracted, I'm sure she understands. And obviously we have the NWA jumping in as well, and it's like, man, what a time to be a wrestling fan. Incredible. Just a shame that we were robbed of, this year's, but hopefully all that does is just whet your appetite even more for when the NWA does come back and we do build towards that show, because They've clearly been doing special stuff for a long time, and I can tell you that it did not stop when Power started. If anything, it just went to a different level, just continued, and they kept delivering. And honestly, that we got in 2019. I would say that's one of my favourite matches. Comparing that to the matches I saw in 2019, I agree with Aldis. That's one of the matches of 2019. I would put it in that bracket. Isn't it funny that I honestly think that like the Thunder Rosa Allysin K match is one of my matches of 2020 so far? So NWA just every single year just knocking it out of the park, be it on those kind of special shows or be it on Power or whatever's going on, you know. Scenes. That's what they create. They create scenes. Right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I know this was different. I hope you had a great time. If you've not seen the show before, I hope you enjoyed it. You've obviously heard from Mr. Aldis. You've heard from the NWA. There's nothing else to add. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to go whilst I'm, because I could sit here and just keep freaking out for another half an hour and fanboying. But, you've all got lives to lead. So thank you so much for joining us. Genuinely do appreciate it. And hopefully see you again next time. Bye for now.